Hey, what's happening, gamers? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to more of the LEGO Batman Showcase. As well as if you guys have questions, feel free to answer, or ask them, or whatever. Some people were asking, why does it take so long for streams to start? You have found a shadow ban channel. If we do not have live streams run, then our channel views for YouTube will drop to 0. So we could go from 2,000 views an hour while we're live, and as soon as we're offline, our channel plummets. We were shadow banned in 2020, so almost 6 years ago. We have to fight for survival every day. So we have to incorporate Twitch methods of survival, which is we run the music, the gameplay starts eventually. So, that kind of stuff. Is it fun? No. Is it necessary? Unfortunately. But my wife and I are survivors. We do whatever we can. So you guys can help by joining our free newsletter over on kwingsletsplays.com. It's kwingsletsplays.com. We have a free newsletter that goes out every day. Except probably today, because Amber was tired and I was sleeping. But usually it goes out every day. It tells you what's happening on the channel. And it helps out a lot. We have to work harder than any other YouTuber on the platform. And we've been on YouTube a very, very long time. About 18 years, I think. Okay, so today we'll be doing the last of Batman and Robin's thing, which is the Joker. So that'll be fun. Amber did a 4-hour streams of Rivals, yeah, and I saw she got super chats, so she did great. She's really good. But she's exhausted. She had a shift from 4 in the morning until noon, and then she worked on this channel later. So I doubt we'll be seeing her. After the stream, it's going to be a mystery stream. Could be an ultimate, could be whatever, I don't know. Alright, there we go, I got my phone. Okay, good, we're good to go. So a little announcement for you guys. Tomorrow at noon is another Batman video. The Batman video is a deep dive into the combat and making comparisons to Arkham, so there will be Arkham footage to do comparisons from doing great takedowns, traveling on gargoyles, traversal stuff, different takedown abilities. Wow, she has the TV loud. Don't need the TV that loud. Things like that. There may be a separate free roaming video, but I don't know how I'm going to do that because most of the free roaming videos are all from YouTubers. I have footage from IGN, which I'm allowed to use. Also, I'll be doing a breakdown, or rather my reaction to... I recorded my full reaction to the 30-minute gameplay. That will go up on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, there's a Q&A video answering all your questions that you had. And we've gotten like 200 to 300 questions. So we're going to answer your questions about the game, to the best of our knowledge, in the 3rd episode of our LEGO Batman News series, which will go up on Thursday. So there will still be LEGO Batman centered focus of the channel. If this stream does really well, like gets like 2,000 views, maybe I'll do the Joker section tomorrow. Or like the Riddler. I just don't like playing as the villains. We got our first super chat, so let me get to that. And then I'll start the level. This is from Miss Deanna. Do you think that Iron Man is similar to Batman due to their backstories and the fact that they're both billionaires? That's a tough question. Iron Man is an alcoholic, and Iron Man is a very selfish man who gets on the path of redemption later on. He had his parents for most of his life, and he grew up being kind of an insufferable jerk and things like that. Bruce Wayne lost his parents at the age of 8 years old. Never really was an entitled kid, and focused his entire childhood to basically catch the people who killed his parents and dedicating his life to it. So, while they share similarities in terms of wealth, in terms of character and personality, they're vastly different. They handled their wealth differently. Tony, you know, spent his money frivolously. Bruce Wayne hardly spent his money. Hardly had the, you know, the face of his company. He let the board handle everything while he was, you know, plotting his revenge. Batman Begins is a perfect example of this. Batman Begins is a great movie that encompasses, like, Bruce Wayne's rage and tragedy and his hollowness inside. And it's thanks to Rachel's interference that he straightens up a little bit and leaves Gotham, you know. Because he was going to just basically turn assassin and kill the guy who killed his parents. Or ordered the parents hit. And it, you know, ended up changing for him. So, but I like Iron Man. I think Iron Man's a very interesting character. He deals with his anger and his depression through alcohol. Whereas Bruce Wayne, he fuels his anger and regret out on, you know, nameless faces in the night. So, that's what happens with that. Thank you very much, Miss Sienna. Our other super chat is from Granddaddy Otaku. Would you be interested in seeing any of Gotham Knight's costumes for Lego Batman? Side note, just want to thank you, K-Wing, for everything you and Amber do. Many blessings and good vibes as always. Thank you very much, Granddaddy. The Gotham Knights video game? You mean like the Batman costume, Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin, and Red Hood? Assuming Red Hood is... It's interesting, you know that nobody has asked if Red Hood is in the game? Like, that's the weird thing to me. I've watched numerous YouTube interviews. I've watched all the publication interviews of the project lead who's in charge of the game. Not one of them have asked about Red Hood. Not one has asked about Jason Todd. People have asked about Damian, which he said no comment. People have asked about Terry, which he said no comment. Harley Quinn, no comment. And they've asked about Justice Leaguers, but hardly any people that I know of asked about Red Hood, which would be a very good question. If you're playing a Lego Batman game that is going to encompass a good chunk of Batman's career and Dick Grayson is going to turn into Nightwing over the course of the game, what about the other Robins? See, these are questions I would ask if I was in Germany. I have asked these questions, by the way, in a Q&A that I sent to the developers. Whether or not they get back to me, I don't know. But my questions were in regards to Justice Leaguers, Bat family members like Jason Todd, and the Signal, and Batwing, things like that. Cassandra Cain, Stephanie Brown. So hopefully we'll get a clear, you know, indication about what's going on. Even if they say no comment, there's a possibility. They did confirm another villain. Right before the end of Gamescom, like Traveler's Tales said that Condiment King will show up in the game. So those of you who are fans of the Condiment King from Batman the Animated Series and his small appearances in the comics over the past 20 years, Condiment King will be in the new Batman game. In some capacity. So, if you're, you know, if you're cool with that, Condiment King will rise again. Basically. So, there's that. Oh. Hey, do you think that they will make points on the map to traverse to the cave in the new Lego Batman game? Extreme Gaming YouTube? I don't know. All I know is that the map of Lego Batman, the new game, like, we're just gonna call it Dark Knight Legacy. Dark Knight Legacy's map is huge. So, I actually have seen the entire map now. One of my YouTube friends gave me a screenshot, which I'll be using in my video tomorrow. And it shows you how big the open world is in the new Lego game. It's massive. And there's lots of question marks and stuff like that. But you will be able to travel to the Batcave if that's your question. Just like Lego Batman 2, the Batcave is freely accessible to you during the story and during free roam. So if you want to go back to the Batcave is fully customizable. You can display certain suits and Batmobile. I don't know if you can mess around with the trophies that are in the back. I don't believe so. But there will be that. We have a highlighted message from Miku. I was just curious about how would you get the gold and red bricks and the new mini kits work for the new Lego Batman game. And it's okay if you don't know, Luke. I don't know about the red bricks and the gold bricks. I know that there's red bricks in the game, Miku. How I was explained is basically the red bricks are how you unlock the Batmobiles, I think. But again, a friend of mine who had hands-on with the game didn't have enough time to ask about. They were shooing people in and out for stuff, and very few people actually got exclusive interviews. It looks like the only guy who was doing interviews was the project lead himself. But I don't know. I won't really hear back from a lot more. Like, I've gotten some pleasant, like, quick responses from text from people at TT and WB Games and stuff like that. But I haven't gotten full-blown, like, my questions answered, like, in email format. That probably won't happen till Wednesday. If it doesn't happen, I'll be following up with a phone call. Because I know they'll be back in the offices. I still have Traveler's Tale's phone number. So I'll be calling them. Not to sound like a stalker or anything. It's just a pleasant call. I do call game developers when they don't respond to my emails. If I have their numbers. I make it my business to know. So I'll be following up this week. And then my final Batman video on the LEGO Batman news. Because I'm sure there'll be more LEGO Batman news as time goes on. And I need to make a LEGO Batman Dark Legacy playlist. I'm so lazy. Because I'll be doing a series of follow-up videos as more news develops. Because there'll be trickles of information about the game as time goes on. It's not like it's just going to completely dissipate. That takes a while for stuff like that to happen. So, I believe we got another super chat. Let me just... I could be mistaken. Jay Loon, you think that Keaton will ever come back as Batman after The Flash? No. If you get... Blitzwinger wants Red Hood. Well, yeah, Blitz is a big fan of Jason Todd. That makes sense. Am I missing something? That was Miku. We got Granddaddy. I saw another green thing. Where is it? I just want to make sure. Okay, so this is from Panasonic. Is that I can't say your name. What are some of the suits you want to see for Robin, Nightwing, and Batgirl? Thanks for all the entertainment throughout the years. No problems. Is your name Paisano? Is that... I probably said it wrong. What are suits that I want to see for Robin, Nightwing, and Batgirl? I want to see the Disco Nightwing costume, because it's his first appearance. I want his second Nightwing costume, the blue and gold, that we saw in Nightfall. I want his most iconic Jim Lee Nightwing costume, blue and black. I want his red Nightwing costume from New 52. I want his Batman and Robin costume from the Joel Schumacher movie, because I think that's a great Nightwing costume. They can even keep the cape. That'd be funny. And let's see, what else would I want? For Batgirl, Batgirl 66. Black and gold Batgirl from the 60s comics. Gray and blue Batgirl from Batman the Animated Series. Yellow, gray, and blue cowl. So yellow gloves, yellow boots, and blue cowl for Batgirl from the comics. The Alicia Silverstone Batgirl costume. I would love to see that. With the cowl, though, not with the Batgirl mask. I would like to see her Batgirl costume from the animated series 4th season. I would like to see her Batgirl costume from the 2004 The Batman, which is a variation of her costume from the 60s. I'd like to see her New 52 Batgirl costume, her Batgirl of Burnside costume, and her current costume that's in DC Rebirth. As well as, I would probably like to see her Gotham Knights costume. For Robin, I would like to see the 66 Robin costume from Burt Ward. Earth 2 Robin with the yellow pants from the comics from the 1970s. I would like to see the animated series Robin. Both versions, the classic Tim Drake look mixed with the red Robin like look that we had in season 4 with Tim Drake. Basically the Robin year 1 year later costume. I would like the red Robin costume from Kingdom Come. I'd like the Dick Grayson Robin costume from the New 52. I would like the Tim Drake Robin costume from the New 52 and Damian's costume pre-52 and New 52. DC Rebirth, Dick Grayson's costume from Titans. And, let's see, what else? I'd like Pirate Robin from the Elseworld story. I'd like, Robin 1 Million, like Batman's robot sidekick, the Toy Wonder. I would like Thrill Killer Robin. Because that was kind of a cool costume for Dick Grayson. Let's see. Can't really think of any other ones. There's a couple other Elseworlds costumes where Robin looked kind of cool. But, again, they're just, like, one-offs, like Pirate, Knight, Victorian, things like that. You have to remember, there was a lot of Elseworld stories for Robin and Batman in the 90s. Just one-off comics that were, I don't know, DC was just being weird. I forget why they did them. They just did. So I'd like to see some of that. I would like the Arkham costumes for all of Batman, Nightwing, Robin, and Batgirl, and Catwoman. So I'd like to see their Arkham costumes show up. That'd be kind of cool. As far as I know right now, from what I've heard from different YouTubers and a couple publications, it doesn't sound like there'll be any microtransactions in the new Lego game, which harkens back to the original Lego Batman. You will have to unlock stuff, which I'm all for. I think that's great. I don't know if they're going to do paid DLC or they're just going to do expansive updates. I'm assuming it's probably they're going to have DLC because they've had DLC with Lego games ever since Lego Batman 2. I could be wrong. I mean, I would be okay if there's no DLC whatsoever. I like unlocking things. It's a challenge, you know? So I don't mind that. But other than that, you know, I am putting together a video talking about the costumes I want to see in the game, even though it's confirmed. There's a little bit of misinformation going around about how many suits are in the game. One person who's not the project lead says there is 100 suits in total for the heroes, for all 7 heroes, with Batman getting the most suits, obviously. And then there's another person saying that the heroes are only going to get about 10 suits and Batman's going to get 100. So until the game gets more information, I don't know what is legit and what isn't. So either Batman has 100 suits, or there's 100 suits in total for everybody, with Batman having the most, or most of the characters don't get that many suits and Batman has, you know, the 100 suits. So I have asked for a more in-depth follow-up from somebody I know to see if they can, you know, lock that down for me. But as of right now, I don't know. So I'm going to keep to my 100 suits thing and keep it as a theory for now until more concrete information comes out about that. Because they're not answering a lot of questions. The fact that they said, again, that Batman Begins, or not Batman Begins, Batman Beyond is no comment, along with Harley Quinn, that leads me to believe that probably Terry or Terry's suit will show up in the game, but it's just speculation at this point. Like, I don't have any concrete information for or against it, you know. I will say that when Traveler's Tales years ago, just to give you guys a little bit of, you know, maybe kind of like, aha, back when Lego Batman 2 was in development, and they were showcasing it and having, like, press events and stuff like that, Nightwing was not in the game. And I asked them, like, at the press event, I said, Nightwing was unlockable in Lego Batman 1. Will you have Nightwing in the game because he hasn't appeared in any of the press stuff yet? And also, you're doing the parody of Arkham City in your promotional stuff. Nightwing appeared in that game. And the project lead at the time, like, from the podium, he was like, that's an excellent question about Dick Grayson's role in the game as Nightwing. He says, no comment. 3 months after that press event, they announced that Nightwing and Shazam would be hero DLC for Lego Batman 2. So with Traveler's Tales, you never know what they're going to do. But when they were showcasing the game and they had gameplay and they had a pretty decent alpha build for people to play test in New York City and in California, they didn't have Nightwing available. It was just Robin and Batman and a little bit of free roam, driving around the Batmobile, jumping on top of rooftops, things like that. And Nightwing wasn't even, you couldn't even find a silhouette of his picture in the game. So you could be facing something similar. You have to remember that as press, I asked, like, the questions that people want to know about. So, as a huge Nightwing fan, of course I was going to ask Traveler's Tales when I was at those events, where's Nightwing? Because Nightwing has been in the Lego games on both, like, Wii and DS and things like that. So I was just kind of like, hey, what's going on? You know? I wasn't trying to be rude or anything. I was just giving them heads up, like, you missed out on some stuff. What's happening here? And Nightwing has appeared, for the most part, as DLC for both Lego Batman 2, and I believe he was DLC in Lego Batman 3. He was unlockable as part of the story in Lego DC Supervillains. You know, the fact that literally you turn into Nightwing as you go is pretty cool. Looks like we have some more Super Chats. Do you think that the map will mostly be made of Lego bricks? Because a lot of Lego don't do that, unfortunately. Do you think that the map will be mostly made of Lego bricks? No. If you've played any of the Lego Batman games, the Lego Batman games are exactly like how you see them. Gotham is a real city with some Lego elements, but for the most part, it looks like a regular city. You can even see, like, from some of the free roam footage that I posted, because I posted a little bit in my recent video, and it shows somebody playing as Batman and traversing with the Bat Grapple around Gotham. And it shows you that the cities themselves, or the buildings, are real buildings, and Batman is just running on top of them. Just like in this game. You see how I'm on a real building? That's essentially what it is. It's a real building. Alright, so how do we gotta get Robin over here now. Somehow. How do we get Robin up there? Oh, there it is. And what was the second question? Rocket Raccoon asks, I get you dislike the camp, but isn't it charming and fun to see them recognize all aspects of Batman's history? Also, most wanted Nightwing costume. It's not that I dislike camp. I wasn't alive when camp was prevalent in Batman's career. And you have to understand, as a Batman historian, my problem with camp is camp was done in order for Batman to survive cancellation. The Comics Code Authority was nasty. There were some comic books that got canceled that had to do with, like, cowboys and Indians and, like, more intense murder mystery stuff. It's not like every comic book company survived the Comics Code Authority. And Batman was a big target on his back, right? So, in order to survive, they had to basically do the Comics Code Authority thing. They had to bow down to the censorship in a way, and they had to change Batman to meet the new criteria, which was, hey, you can't have stuff be this violent anymore. It's not going to work. So that's why they had to do that. And then from the camp comic books came the Adam West show. Like, the Adam West show was inspired by those comic books. Right? So, I mean, there was a reason behind it. It's just I don't like it. It was too goofy. I like Batman at his roots, which is he's a dark, traumatized, you know, very complex character. He's like an onion. He's got lots of layers, right? So, I don't necessarily like what they did with that. I understand why they did it, I just don't personally like it. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's just I personally am not a fan of it. I was born in the 1980s during, like, the resurgence of Dark Batman. Don't I need to go over there? Uh-oh. And, so I get what they're trying to do with that, and I appreciate its history, but I personally don't like it. It's just, it's not in my thing. I like stories that have complexity, that have murder mysteries. My favorite stories are where Batman, at his core, is a detective. You know, he's solving clues and he's doing stuff. So Neil Adams and Dennis O'Neill's run in the 70s and 80s, that was my Batman. And when that came to fruition with some of the other stuff, like in Batman the Animated Series, that cemented it for me. Batman the Animated Series, which I still watch and listen to this day, like, is where I view Batman. Like, it is the pinnacle of what Batman is, what Batman stands for. It's definitive. So, with the camp only lasted from the 1950s until about 1966, because they were already trying to change Batman comics by, like, 1965. So it was about 15 years, roughly. And even the Adam West show, when it started, it wasn't fully campy. It had camp elements, but it had dark storytelling. A woman fell inside of a nuclear reactor, Commissioner Gordon was shot, Robin was shot and had surgery performed on his leg. There was lots of stuff. You know, people actually died in the first season of Adam West Batman show. They didn't die anymore after that. If they did die, it was a comical death. But, you know, it was the absurdity of the show. Basically, the Adam West show is kind of like Leslie Nielsen's The Naked Gun, but not that funny originally. Like, Adam West plays the Leslie Nielsen character who's acting straight in an absurd universe. And, of course, Robin is there to bounce dialogue off of him. But, you know, I don't hate camp. I just don't personally like it. I think that it's a part of Batman's character, but you have to understand from my point of view, as a Batman fan, as someone who's, like, steeped in dark storytelling, it was just a small portion of Batman's existence. And if you've been paying attention, not to be insulting or anything, the past, like, 50 years, they have gone out of their way to completely erase most of Batman's, like, camp background because it doesn't work anymore. There was a lot of noise that happened when they did the Batman Brave and the Bold show because it created quite an outroar because, you know, most people were done with the campiness of Batman. They were like, okay, this has to go away, right? So when one of the guys behind Batman the Animated Series did Batman Brave and the Bold, it did cause quite a commotion because people are like, wait a second, what's going on here? You know, the last Batman show, the 2004 Batman cartoon, was kind of dark, and you're backsliding. You're going back to the 60s. And the project head at the time, he was like, hey, I grew up with the Adam West show. Batman can be reinvented. And, you know, what he said, it really resonated with me because I did enjoy watching the Cape Crusader. I did enjoy watching Batman Brave and the Bold. I thought Batman Brave and the Bold was a very fun show. It reminded me of the Super Friends and, you know, some of the Adam West stuff. And the writing was really good. So it didn't try to take itself too seriously. They didn't have Batman act like a joke. Batman was surrounded by idiots. And he was in, you know, he was in a world that was comedic, but he was not, he wasn't part of the joke, basically. That's how Dietrich Bader played him, and it worked, I have to say. It did work. It worked out pretty well. To answer your question about Nightwing costume, I want to see Achy Breaky Heart Nightwing, so the gold and blue, which that costume was around from 1991 until 1995, when Nightwing debuted his brand new Chuck Dixon blue and black costume. I want to see the Arkham Nightwing costumes as well. I don't really know a lot about Elseworlds Nightwing, so I can't tell you. I don't really read a lot of Elseworlds storytelling anymore. And we got a bunch of other super chats. But I hope that answers your question, Racket Raccoon. We got a couple other super chats I saw, and then I'll try to get to some of the other. Maybe not likely. Do we get a Caroline Keene, Carrie Kelly Robin suit? For those who don't know, that's a Robin Batgirl from Frank Miller's The Dark Knight trilogy. I do not like the Frank Miller Carrie Kelly. Like, The Dark Knight Strikes Again, I can't stand it. I don't like it. I don't know if we'll get... It's not like... Your characters are wearing suits, right? Granddaddy? Like, Robin is a boy. You can't gender swap into a girl. You could probably give Batgirl Carrie Kelly's costume because she has red hair, but there will be no gender swapping of characters. Like, that's not going to happen. So you're not going to see Robin running around in a girl's Robin costume. So the likelihood of Dick Grayson or Damian Wayne wearing a Robin costume that has a skirt probably won't happen. And I don't think they're going to have customizable suits either, like, for different characters. But, I mean, it would be interesting. I know Carrie Kelly has appeared in other... Not interesting wearing drag is not what I mean. I mean, interesting to see other Robin characters in the game. Like, maybe Carrie Kelly could show up as, like, a mission or something like that. I don't know. But, mostly the characters, as we've seen with Batman and Commissioner Gordon, they wear they wear their costumes from their stuff. Like, I have a video of showing Commissioner Gordon wearing different suits from, like, the Golden Age and a comic book where he's a cowboy and things like that. So that's what they're going with. So all of Robin's costumes will be Robin costumes that Dick Grayson or Tim Drake or Jason Todd or one of the boys wore. And with Batgirl, maybe we could get away with her, you know, wearing other girl superhero costumes, but probably just be Batgirl costumes for Batgirl, Robin costumes for Robin, things like that. But thanks for the super chat and the question. I saw a Extreme person up here. Yeah, Extreme. K-Wing, do you think they will let us free roam the manor and Wayne Tower? Also the garage where Lucius makes the Bat toys and gadgets? This will be the first time Lego Batman game to let us do it. If we could free roam Wayne Tower? I don't know. I haven't heard if Wayne Manor is in the game or not. I've heard of Wayne Tower. They could be doing the whole game, like, just using Wayne Tower as a backdrop. I can't tell you because I don't know. The only questions that Traveler's Tales has answered definitively is that you can go to the Batcave, right? The Batcave is accessible during the story. You'll see it in the story, and you'll be able to go to the Batcave and free roam. Like, you can literally drive the Batmobile out of the Batcave. So it's not like Arkham Origins where you go to the Batcave and you fly out with the Batwing and it's a, you know, it's like a, whatchamacallit? It's like a cinematic cutscene. You can literally drive out of the Batcave in the Batmobile of your choice. And I have something to add to that, which I don't know how they're going to do this because there's no way they could do this. And I'll just explain what I mean. Somebody at Traveler's Tales told a YouTuber, and this YouTuber's running with it, that you will be able to play every single Batmobile in the Lego Batman Dark Knight Legacy game. And I don't think that this Traveler's Tales, like, PR person understands what they just said. There is no way that you can play as every single Batmobile because they've made a new Batmobile in the comics every 10 years. Or actually, every writer has their own signature Batmobile. It's not just, you know, the movie or TV show Batmans. It would be one thing if the guy said, you will be able to play as all the movie and TV show Batmobiles in our game. But the dude said you'll be able to play all Batmobiles in Lego Batman. And I'm just letting you know that I don't think that's true because the comic books have had more Batmobiles than on TV and in video games and in the movies. Like, a writer will make their own Batmobile every time they write a book. Sometimes you'll see, like, a writer go back and, you know, use the Keaton Mobile or Batman Forever or a variation of... The 90s Batmobile had 3 variants, like the comic book one, okay? It was this kind of, like, Keaton-inspired supercar that had a blue and gray tint to it, and it was an interesting Batmobile. But, like, that Batmobile didn't survive into Jim Lee. Jim Lee went for a more classic black car. So the comic books themselves have probably had 30 Batmobiles in the past, like, since I've been alive. In the comics, they had a variation of the 60s Batmobile for, like, 20 years that Batman drove. But he also drove a 1970s Corvette for when he was, like, you know, trying to be inconspicuous, and he didn't really have a lot of fancy standout things when Dennis O'Neil and Danny O'Neill redid Batman's dark storytelling. So they changed up the Batmobile to be more inconspicuous. So if I was working on Traveler's Tales, I would make sure that the Batmobiles that you would play as would be all the movie Batmobiles, right? All the TV show Batmobiles, which would be animated series, 2004, Batman Brave and the Bold, the Beware the Batman, Adam West, Justice League, that kind of stuff. And then for the comics, I would give you the 1970s convertible, or 1970s Corvette. I'd give you the 80s and 90s Batmobile, which looked like futuristic. It was actually one of my favorite Batmobiles growing up. I would give you the Jim Lee Batmobile from 2000-2005. I would give you the Frank Miller Batmobile, which was a tank. I would give you the... Grant Morrison Batmobile, which was a hover car, and have it hover above the ground as an homage to Batman and Robin when Dick Grayson and Damian were Batman and Robin. And I would give you the more recent Batmobile from the current run of DC Comics. And that would be it for the comic books. So you would get, like, 4 or 5 comic book Batmobiles, and that would be it. Like, so I'd give you all the movie Batmobiles, the TV show, and, like, 5 comic books. Because there's no reason giving you the Super Friends Batmobile. It's essentially a recolored version of Adam West Batmobile. Instead of being black and red, it's blue and black. Which is what they used in the comics, you know? So, but that's what I would do. So I don't agree with what the Traveler's Tale person said, that, you know, if there's 100 Batsuits and like 50 Batmobiles, that would be an insane undertaking. Be a lot easier to give people the Batsuits that they want compared to the Batmobiles, because you can't make that type of claim. There's just too many Batmobiles, and they're all different. The 1940s Batmobile I could see happen in the game because it was prevalent in the comics in the 1940s, and it's not hard. It's a round car with a bat, like big bat thing on the bumper, like a giant bat symbol, a bat head, and it was used as a battering ram. And that was in the comics in the 40s and in the early 50s. They used it throughout the Silver Age. It also appeared in some alliteration in Batman Brave and the Bold, as well as, I believe, in one movie serial, they had a similar Batmobile like that. So that's, you know, it's possible. And I'm sure fans would love to see, like, the 1940s Batmobile. It's recognizable. There is a way to showcase, like, popular comics book Batmobiles, because some of them were used quite a bit in the comics. So it's possible. But I wouldn't make that bold claim that you can have every single Batmobile. They should have clarified all the movie Batmobiles, all the TV show Batmobiles, and a few comic book. And that would still get people very excited, mind you. They'd be like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of Batmobiles. Which it is. There's 7 movie Batmobiles. And there is, there is 5 or 6 cartoon Batmobiles. Like TV show. But to say that there'll be tons of comic book Batmobiles, that's not, it's not possible. Just like you can't even have every Batsuit in the game. You can have some of them. Even 100 Batsuits won't even cover like a full 86 years of Batman's history. Batman has had hundreds of Batsuits. And I can't even name them all either. Like 100 Batsuits is an insane undertaking to begin with. But I can't tell you all the Batsuits that there would be. I could name off all the movie and TV show Batsuits. That's not a problem, but all of that would just come to like 15. Something like that. Ben Affleck himself, as Batman, had 5 Batsuits, which people are forgetting. Actually, he might have had 6 now. Let's see. So he had his torn Batsuit, he had his Bat armor in Justice League, and he had his Nightmare Batman, so that's 3 Batsuits in BVS. He had a less torn up version of his Batsuit in Justice League that looked like it was a little bit different in terms of design for Joss Whedon's thing. He had his new tactical suit. Then he had his new blue and gray suit, which looked ridiculous in The Flash. So he's had about like 7 Batsuits himself. So that's... And Val Kilmer had 2 Batsuits. George Clooney had 2 Batsuits. Bale had 2 Batsuits. Robert Pattinson's only had 1 Batsuit so far. Adam West only had 1 Batsuit and lots of gadgets. Might have made a mistake here. Oh, I know what I need to do. And then I'll get around to some overrated questions. Thanks for being patient. Alright, so that... I went off on a tangent. But I don't know if we'll get to free roam to Wayne Manor and stuff like that. I guess we'll find out. I hope we do. Can you guys hear me over the music, or is it really loud? If this game has free DLC, then this game will be Game of the Year. Maybe. Do you think they will let us free roam the... Oh, you already asked that one. I like the Thai versions of Batman, the campy and the serious, more comic accurate Batman. Yeah, I like the more serious Batman. Granddaddy. I already did that one. Adam West did the best he could. That's true. Dr. Doc. This game has me more excited when Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad. You can really see the love of the material and what they've shown. Okay, so here's the thing you guys probably don't know about Traveler's Tales. And I've known these guys for a long time. Well, some of them. They are some of the biggest Batman nerds I've ever met. Like, when I would talk to Rocksteady, like, let me tell you the difference between Rocksteady and Traveler's Tales, okay? When I was at E3, for the year that Arkham City and Lego Batman... Or wait, no. It was a... There was a Lego game that they were working on. And there was an Arkham game that was around the same time. I think it was Arkham Origins. I believe that's when Lego Batman 3 and Arkham Origins came out around the same time. But I was talking to the Traveler's Tales guys, and, you know, they made mistakes with Robin, like Arkham did. And I used to grill Traveler's Tales a little bit because they made a slight mistake in one game that I found funny, but they corrected in later Lego games. But in Lego Batman 1, you play as Tim Drake, right? Tim Drake is the Robin in Lego Batman 1. Nightwing and Barbara Gordon are all active as Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon as Nightwing and Batgirl, respectively, in Lego Batman 1. Because this game takes place, you know, later in Batman's Lego career. In Lego Batman 2, the Robin that they have listed in the consoles is Dick Grayson, even though it's a continuation of the Lego game. But the other Lego team that made Lego Batman 1, they're the guys that made Lego Batman 2 on DS and PS Vita, where Tim Drake is the Robin of Lego Batman 2. So, people would razz on them a little bit about that, and they took it in stride. It didn't bother them. Whereas Rocksteady, when Rocksteady made a mistake, you know, they were like, oh, you know, it's just, this is our version of the character, or whatever. Like, when they made the mistake later on of having Tim Drake be the love interest for, you know, Barbara Gordon, which was a huge calculation and error because it never happened, Rocksteady never lived that down. Whereas Traveler's Tales, when they made a mistake that wasn't as big with Tim Drake, they fixed it and they corrected it by the third game, Lego Batman 3. Robin is back to being Tim Drake, and Nightwing is, you know, Nightwing is Dick Grayson. So what happened was there was a small mistake when they were putting together the text in Traveler's Tales Lego Batman 2. The text team made a mistake, and they made it Dick Grayson instead of Tim Drake, because it was just an error. I don't believe in the game they actually say the name Tim until Lego Batman 3 anyway. Like, I don't believe he says the name Tim or Dick at all in the movie, or in Lego Batman 2. So they could get away with that error because people are like, oh, okay, yeah, it's just Tim. But he's named Dick Grayson. So it was a slight calculation problem, but by the time they got to Lego Batman 3... and Lego DC Supervillains, it was fixed again. So it's like, you know, they made the error, but then they corrected it, right? Whereas Rocksteady, once they made their error with the wrong Robin romancing Batgirl, that was it. They had to really own it after that. But, you know, they still get made fun of to this day about that. But Traveler's Tales, they try as best as they can to not only be accurate to the source material, but also accurate to the TV show that it represents. They had a lot of fun doing the Batman the Animated Series DLC for some of the previous Lego games, as well as they had a blast putting together the Batcave for Adam West and working with Adam West. These guys are hardcore Batman nerds, okay? They could almost give me a run for my money. You know? Like, they know Batman. And when they put something together, there's a lot of love and attention to detail and research that goes into it. Like, they really try hard. As humans, they might make mistakes. They might, you know, name a character wrong in the game. But their heart is in the right place. You know, they really adamantly try to deliver not just an authentic Batman experience, but something that really adds to Batman's mythos. They're not just making a game to make a game. They know it's a Lego game, but they always put 110% into what they do. And if you've ever played any of the Lego Batman games, you can tell this just based on how the games work. It's very different than Rocksteady. You know, it's very different than WB Games. And with the brand new reboot now, they have so much flexibility. They're no longer confined to the Lego Batman lore of Lego Batman 1 through Lego DC Supervillains. It's a brand new sandbox. It's a brand new universe. They can reinvent the Batman wheel as much as they want without causing any problems to the previous stuff because it is a reboot. It's an entirely new universe. You could call it a reboot if you want, or you can just say it's a brand new thing. It doesn't matter. But they're not tied to the limitations that they created for themselves with the other Lego games. They have so much freedom to do whatever they want. And as a game developer, that's what you want. You want the freedom to be able to play around in your sandbox however you want. And so, you know, I'm really happy for them that they get to reinvent the Batman wheel that they already messed with in 2008. So that's great. So you're going to see a change to a lot of different Batman characters that you're not accustomed to. Like Harley Quinn is probably going to have a new origin that will be tied to the movies that never really happened, you know? Because they are borrowing a lot of heavy inspiration from the movies with a little bit of comic book storytelling to go in the mix. So Harley's thing is probably going to be very different than what you've seen from the movies and things like that. Probably be like pretty similar to the animated series, but with like a you know, a 1989 spin to it. Who knows? I'm excited to see what they do. Traveler's Tales always has me, like, waiting in bated breath to see what they do, because they're masters of their craft. And I say this because I've spoken to these guys for years, and they're just as big as a bat nerd as I am. Like, we can literally talk about Adam West, or the 70s run of Batman comics, the animated series, Frank Miller, the Super Friends, and they get it. They know where you're going with it. It's not just like they look at you and they just go, uh-huh, uh-huh. Like, these guys understand it. So I respect that. You know, Rocksteady, they knew about Batman's modern stuff, but a lot of them didn't even really grow up with the animated series, which you could tell by some of the storytelling, especially when, what's-his-name took over. When Sefton Hill took over as lead writer in Arkham Knight and for the Harley Quinn DLC, he made a lot of mistakes that Paul Dini never would have made. As well as he wasn't as good as a writer as Paul Dini, so when he went around and he made Arkham stuff, Arkham Knight made a lot of inconsistencies from where the Arkham games were going. And he tried to tie up loose ends as best he could without Paul Dini, but it's not what the fans anticipated, nor did it really work with what everybody was hoping with Hush and all this other stuff. Like, Paul Dini was building to a massive Hush confrontation, and Sefton Hill gave us 5 minutes, you know? The Lego guys, they understand Batman. If anybody were to make and be part of a brand new Batman team to give us an authentic, like, 3D Batman experience, like, the people who you would want to build that, excuse the pun, would be the Traveler's Tales guys, past and present, because all of them love Batman. They like the 80s Batman, they like the 90s Batman, they love the animated series, they like the movies, they like aspects of the Adam West and Batman Brave and the Bold. These are hardcore Batman fans that their criteria for being hired is they love Batman. They all do. And that's something that you can feel every time you play a Lego Batman game. And in the third game, they brought in a lot of people that were well-versed in, like, DC Comics lore as a whole, because Lego Batman 3 is essentially a superhero Justice League, you know, adventure. It's very heavily based on lots of obscure DC characters and villains, and it really tried to open up the greater Lego DC universe. And then Lego DC's Supervillains was kind of like the magnum opus of that, you know? And a lot of them were bummed that they didn't get to do their Crisis on Infinite Earths game, because that's what they were building up to. That's what the big crescendo was going to be. You know, the Crisis on Infinite Earths leading to a reboot of the franchise. But they never got to do it because DC, or rather Warner Media at the time, wouldn't let them. So they had to go back to the drawing board, which was David Zaslav wanted Lego Batman back, but Lego Batman. So they had to essentially make a remake. But with their remake, they're going all out. And I applaud them for it. I really do. We've missed some super chats. I'm sorry about that. Let me get to those. I'm so bad. All right, so thank you, Dr. Doc. So yeah, this is not like the people who were making the Suicide Squad and people who made Gotham Knights. They were people that had a small understanding for Batman and his world, but mostly they were there to push agendas. Gotham Knights didn't do it too much, but you could tell there was some grandstanding and there's some annoying things there because they were trying to cater to a non-Batman audience. Suicide Squad especially was like, we're going to make the misogynistic Arkham fans pay now that we have control of their franchise. We're going to make Harley Quinn disgusted by who she was. You know, we're going to talk down to the audience. We're going to, you know, really make fun of the Arkham players because these guys are all gross men that objectify women and all this other stuff. And that's what their game was. Their game was basically punching down on the audience. They made Batman like this complete opposite version of his character, even brainwashed, and it was a travesty. And then they lost a lot of money. They became the scorn of the internet, and Arkham fans hate Rocksteady now. Like, Rocksteady has like a reputation that's like 50-50 right now. Most Arkham fans do not like them. And most of the Arkham fans, I tell you what, they're going to go to Lego Dark Knight Legacy. That's where they're going to go. And I think that Traveler's Tales are the perfect salesman for this pitch. Because, like, they're giving Arkham fans what they want. A massive open-world Arkham game with a great story. And they completely flipped the script. They gave you a Lego game instead of, like, the more gritty, you know, gameplay that you're used to. But they did it in a way that works. So Traveler's Tales is sneakily going to take a lot of, like, Rocksteady's fans away from them by providing an experience that Arkham fans have been waiting for a decade. But it's going to come from a completely different outlet, which is Lego. You know how awesome and also how spiteful that is? Like, literally, Traveler's Tales cooked. You know? They're like, hey, Rocksteady's not going to do anything with this engine. Let's do it. Let's do our own spin. And most of the people that are talking about this new Lego game are not just Lego content creators. No. Most of the people talking about this brand new Lego game are people that play Assassin's Creed, are people that play, you know, Arkham. Like, literally, Traveler's Tales and their group are going to sneakily steal a good chunk of Rocksteady's audience right out from under them. And I applaud that, because Rocksteady needs a swift kick to the butt. Because, you know, they became very entitled, they lost their way, and they were going after the wrong audience with their games. And Lego, which is a family-friendly, wholesome group, is going to steal the thunder away from Rocksteady. And they're going to force Rocksteady to basically do it better. Which is great, because, you know, if Rocksteady can get their head out of their butt and to go back to what made them, you know, popular to begin with, we'll get a great Batman game because of it. Like, I feel that this new Batman game is actually going to push Rocksteady to really reevaluate where they're going with their career and read the room. That's what I hope happens. But let me get to those other super chats. Again, sorry, I get very passionate about this stuff. Hey, old man. Hi, Sammy. Traveler's Tales decides to make an animated movie DLC for Legacy of the Dark Knight. Which one would you choose? I'm choosing Under the Red Hood. If they do DLC, Sammy, I think the perfect introduction of Red Hood is to do the Under the Red Hood movie, because you have Nightwing as a prevalent part of the story of this game. That's a perfect thing to implement. It really is, because the setup is beautiful. Right? That's what I say in that regard, is I agree with you. I think a Red Hood, Under the Red Hood movie would be perfect. You've got the Joker actor in the game already. You've got the new Batman. You've got the new Nightwing actor. Go for it. That would make great DLC. And also, it would make fans, you know, just like Arkham Knight's DLC of Red Hood was a huge deal for them. having Arkham Knight, or excuse me, having Red Hood be DLC for the brand new Batman game that surrounds his career, that's a fantastic idea. Okay, so next up is Jacob. Hey K-Wing, do you know if villains are playable in free roam or have different skins? So it's not just one version of the character? As far as I know, it's campaign-based, like Arkham. So you couldn't play as multiple characters in Arkham. Like, you could play as just the characters they allowed you to play as, and you wore different suits. It's sounding like this might be the case, but I can't confirm it, because I don't know. What they're focusing on at E3 is an alpha build that has, you know, Jim Gordon and Batman playable, and they said there'll be, like, other playable characters later. Especially in the story. You'll get to play as Batgirl in the main story. You'll play as Robin. Then you'll play as Nightwing. You'll play as Talia. You're going to play as Catwoman. Things like that. Whether or not you're working with the villains as Catwoman, we don't know. But I imagine they're going to do something like... I'll tell you. Let me put it to you this way. I think that you'll have 7 playable heroes, and I think that they're going to flip the script after you beat the game and have you play as 7 playable villains later on. Just like they did with Lego Batman this game. Because it's a remake of the original Lego Batman 1 and 2, basically. Because it's all about Gotham, right? So I could see them doing something like that based on all the outcry, or maybe DLC where you play as the villains. But I don't know. Like, it's probably going to be like Arkham, honestly, where you have 7 playable heroes going up against 7 villains with their own boss battles. We didn't really have big boss battles in Lego games. So there's going to be actual boss battles like Arkham for things like Mr. Freeze and Scarecrow and Poison Ivy and Joker and stuff like that. You know, they're reinventing the Lego wheel. They're trying to attract a new audience while maintaining their Lego, you know, feel as best as they can, but they completely changed everything with this new game. You can also change costumes by hitting the start button. You don't actually have to go to the Batcave like in Arkham Origins. You can go right to your pause menu and change the Batmobile and change your suit in the field. I think you can even do it during the course of the campaign, too. So I hope, Jacob, but I don't see that happening. I think that they're probably going to do 7 playable villains, or 7 playable heroes, and then maybe 7 playable villains as DLC, but I don't know. What will be the next Lego game after Batman? They don't work that way. That's not how Traveler's Tales does things. So, they never announce what game they're working on while they're still, like, releasing a game. Like, in 2 years or something, you might hear rumors of their next big game. But they could also be planning 2 years of content for this Lego game. I don't know. I have no way of knowing. Back in the day, it was very easy to find out what Traveler's Tale was doing because they would release Lego games 8 months apart. A big Lego game would release, and then 8 months later another game would happen, you know? So, I don't know. I'm hopeful that they're working on another game, and it'll probably be Harry Potter, but I would like them to keep with the superheroes and do Lego Superman next. Superman fans, unlike Batman fans, have never gotten a very good Superman game. Ever. And, you know, I've been around a long time, which is why people call me old man. You know, I was born in the 80s, so... In my lifetime, I've only seen a couple decent Superman games. Death of Superman on Super Nintendo, Superman Returns on PS2, and Superman Apocalypse kind of on GameCube, and that's it. Every other Superman game that is good, Superman is in it with other characters like Injustice and Lego Batman 2. You know, he doesn't really have a cool Superman game. So my hope is that the next thing that Zaslav pushes, because you're going to see more Superman in the movies than you will Batman right away. If I was Warner Brothers, I would be giving Traveler's Tales whatever money is possible and have them reuse the same engine that they're using for Batman, let me cook, and make a Superman game. Brighten up the city, make it Metropolis, have Superman go into space, work with Supergirl, have it based on all the Superman movies, like as like a interpretation of it, and the Superman the Animated Series for a big portion of it, and give fans like the Superman game that they've always wanted, but have LEGO do it first. Just like LEGO Batman 2008 spurned people on to make a really good, you know, 3D Batman game, LEGO needs to do the same thing. If LEGO doesn't make a good Superman game first, you will never get a good Superman game. So, like I said, everybody, once they buy the new Batman game, the LEGO Batman game next year, everybody needs to write Traveler's Tales a nice little, you know, congratulations Hallmark card, and make sure the Hallmark card is Superman, and do a massive mailing campaign of millions of people sending in thank you notes for enjoying the new LEGO Batman game, but asking them to make Superman. Because there are some people at Traveler's Tales that have been trying to implement Superman for decades, or almost a decade, and, you know, Warner Brothers hasn't budged on it. So if you want a good Superman game, the people to make it would be Traveler's Tales. And you know that's true. And then because of that, another company would be inspired to actually get their butts in gear and make a good Superman game. That's the only way it's going to happen. Because we had mediocre Batman games until LEGO Batman. And even though Arkham was in development, you know, Traveler's Tales announced that they were doing a LEGO Batman game as early as 2006. Like, they were, you know, there were rumors that they were making a LEGO Batman game. It wasn't like a big shock when 2008 happened, you know? So it's possible that other companies heard that LEGO was going to try to undertake Batman, and they had a lot of success with, like, the LEGO Star Wars games. So maybe that was part of the fuel that made Eidos and Rocksteady make the Arkham Asylum thing, along with the canceled Gotham by Gaslight thing that happened, you know? Could be a lot of reasons why developers compete with each other and make something good. So the best way to make a Superman game that I've seen is to have LEGO do it first, but Warner Brothers won't even let LEGO make a Superman game. So that's I'm going to be talking to a lot of content creators and other people. I think the handwritten sentiments is better than a massive email campaign because those things can be ignored. Those things can be blocked. Writing a nice handwritten sentiment, you know, giving people praise, and you know, a gift, or not a gift card, a thank you card with Superman on it, I think will go a long way. So, sometime like next year, probably by the fall or something like that, I'm gonna spearhead a thing where as many of us as possible, like, send Traveler's Tales a thank you card with Superman on it and ask for the Superman game. That's what my next big thing I'm gonna do. Which is funny as a Batman fan that I would do something like that, but, you know, I want a Superman game too. And I think Traveler's Tales would be the guys to do it as LEGO. Because I really don't want another LEGO Harry Potter thing, because they're just rebooting LEGO, or Harry Potter anyway. Personally. But we'll see what happens. So, I'm behind on Super Chat, sorry about that. I got another one. This is from Rocket Raccoon again. I appreciate your answering my question. Been here since your Transformers Fall of Cybertron. Wow, that's a long time ago. Happy to be hyped with you while speculating. Yeah, speculation is fun. Well, so we're playing the classic of a lifetime, LEGO Batman 1. What's up, Rebel Fleet? Okay, Granddaddy. Miller's Batmobile was insane. Yeah, it was. They don't need to add the Batwing. I mean, I would love the Batwing. I love the Batwing. But Batwing is also a superhero. I would love the Batwing. You kidding me? As big as Gotham is, I don't just want to drive around it. I also want to fly in the Batwing. Give me the Batwing. Give me the Bat Boat, for crying out loud. I want them all. You kidding me? They have, like, several... There's been several Bat Boats. You not know this? There was an animated series Bat Boat. There was a 1966 Bat Boat. There was a comic Bat Boat, which... There aren't that many comic book Bat Boats. There was a 2004 Bat Boat. There was a Brave and the Bold Bat Boat. There was a Batman Returns Bat Boat. There's a Batman Forever Bat Boat. We never saw a Bat Boat for Bale. But there's lots of Bat Boats. There's several Batwings, too. 89, animated series, 2004. Brave and the Bold. I think Beware the Batman. Super Friends. The possibilities are endless, man. That's what I would love. I'd love to see the Bat Boat exploring the river and the ocean. I'd love to see the Batwing, different variations of the Batwing. You kidding me? Oh, that'd be so good. I know it probably won't happen. I mean, their focus is on as many Batmobiles as possible, all the movie Batmobiles and TV show stuff. So it probably wouldn't get them to make the Batwing and the Batboat, but I would love that. Are you kidding me? That would be so dope. We got the Batwing and the Batboat in Lego Batman 1, and I think the Batwing showed up in Lego Batman 2, but we didn't really get to use it very much. I don't think. And we had a Batwing in Lego Batman 3 and Lego DC Supervillains, if I'm not mistaken. But, out of all the Batsuits in the game, I really hope that we get a throwback to Lego Batman. Like, I would love to see the Lego Batman 1 Batsuits, or the Lego Batman suits for Batman, Robin, Nightwing, and Batgirl in in Dark Knight Legacy. I would like to see the Lego Batman 2 Batsuits for Robin, Nightwing, and Batgirl, and Damian. I would like to see the Batsuits in Lego Batman 3 as suits for Batman, Robin, and Batgirl, and Catwoman, and the DC supervillains like suits. Because what I don't want to happen with Traveler's Tales is I don't want them to be caught up in ignoring their part of the Batman legacy. Because, like, they've had a huge part of the Batman legacy themselves. Like, they helped change video games for Batman forever. You know? They had a huge part of Batman's, like, 86 years themselves. So what I don't want them to do is, you know, celebrate the other Batman while ignoring their own contributions to the Batman mythos. So I really hope we get some throwbacks to the original Lego games that they did, specifically Lego Batman 1 and 2. That would be nice, because sometimes when people get around and they make a celebration game, they forget their own accomplishments and achievements as well. And so I hope that's something that I asked them too in my long, like, letter, is, are you guys going to have Bat and Robin suits based on the Lego Batman 1 and 2 games? I asked that specifically. Because, you know, I want to see them celebrated as well, because there'll be people playing this brand new Dark Knight Legacy game that have never played any of the Lego Batman games previously. Like, this will be their introduction to that universe. So it would be cool for them to have, like, some little throwbacks as well as some Bat suits and Robin suits to harken back to the glory days. Like, I would specifically love the 2008 Robin and the 2008 Batman Lego suits from this game, and their looks from Lego Batman 2. Like, I'd be happy with that, as well as, like, you know, throwbacks to some of their more obscure suits, like the Sonar suit and things like that. That'd be great. Will it happen? I don't know. I haven't heard back from them on that, so that'll probably take a week or so because I wrote, you know how long these streams are? There's like a list of 25 things that I asked them. It's a big email with, like, you know, a sentence asking them, like, 25 different things. Some things they've already answered, like, you know, by other people, so obviously they don't need to answer that stuff, but I'd be really curious to see what they're going to do with that. So that's my aim, you know, because I'm not just a fan of Batman as Arkham, I'm also a fan of, like, the Lego Batman games as well, because I've covered all of them. There are very few content creators on this platform, and even on the internet alone, that have covered Lego Batman and the Arkham games as much as I have. Like, Amber and I have played through these games to death, like, with live streams and uploads and all kinds of stuff. I can't go back any further. Uh-oh. Did I get everybody, or did I miss some super chats? If so, I'm so sorry. My phone, I did the best I could. I might have missed them. Yeah, I missed somebody. I'm so sorry. My chat is jamming up. Ah! Okay, Granddaddy. Ah! Too many people commenting. Too many people commenting. What a problem to have, right? What? Gotham Knights tried to please everyone, and Suicide Squad didn't want to care about the audience that made them. Yeah, but that's the problem is, like, You can go and you can create whatever type of content you want with a game, but it's very mean-spirited to make fun of the people that basically gave you the job to begin with. The reason why the Arkham games were a success is not just because the developers made a great game. It's because it spoke to the hearts of the players and they bought it. And they became super fans and they bought all the games and, you know, they really invested their lives, a good portion of their lives, into playing the games. And some people, like me, the lore, and, you know, I've spent a good... Since 2009, I've been invested into the story and the lore of the characters more than I have Batman the Animated Series, right? Like, that's a big portion of my life that was dedicated to the Arkham games. So, for what they did to me, personally, it felt like they stabbed me in the heart. Like, I never said anything, you know, bad about anybody who made the games and stuff like that. I didn't go out of my way to be mean-spirited about, like, I poked fun at them a little bit with some of the decisions they did, but a lot of that stuff felt like a personal attack because, like, you know, I do like attractive female characters, but I'm not, like, doing anything disgusting, like, when I'm playing the games. So it felt like these people were just, like, not the people that had a passion for Batman, but rather they were using Batman as a leaping off point to attack people they didn't like. And that was wrong. That's why I hate woke people, is because they don't try to get along with people they don't like. It's their mission to go and insult people that they don't like so that they can prove they're better by punching down on people. By saying your way of doing things is wrong, you're evil, you're sick, you're gross, the things that you enjoyed in the past are evil, and we're going to show you with our game, which is going to be better in every way, and we're going to do things our way, and blah, blah, blah. And they just keep punching down on you. So that's why I didn't like those people. Is because they couldn't actually go out of their way and make a good product without, like, tearing down the stuff that came before it. And that's never a good outline to do for a game, because it's going to lead to failure. Because instead of worrying about improving the quality of your game, you're attacking the people that played those games, and you don't even deliver a good product. Like, you make a product that is so bad that it can't even stand the test of time. In 10 years, no one will remember Suicide Squad. In probably 5 years, no one will remember the game ever happened. You know, Arkham fans just ignore it the way a lot of them ignore Arkham Origins. It happened, but it doesn't have any fan base. You know, the people that liked Suicide Squad are the same people that liked Concord, and that game was a hit and miss too. You know, they weren't marketing a game towards gamers. They were marketing a game towards freaks and weirdos, and freaks and weirdos don't buy things. Freaks and weirdos pat each other's on the back, and they further their own, like, echo chamber. They don't actually create anything of value. They take something of value and they try to ruin it so that they can be spiteful and, you know, prove that the old way of doing things was worse than their way of doing things, but their way of doing things is way worse because it's not fun. So, that's why they failed. But the LEGO games have never done that. The LEGO games always, you know, regardless of the era, they always make something fun that's for everybody. And that's exactly what the Dark Knight Legacy game is going to do. But like I said, hopefully, the harsh lessons that Rocksteady learns, that they'll actually learn from their mistakes, and they'll go back to the company that we all know and love, because I still believe Rocksteady has talent somewhere. They're just hiding their talent. They're just, like, you know, not focusing on important things right now. They're focusing on things that they think are important on social media, but those things have no bearing in games, you know? So that's why everything basically exploded in their face, is they got their priorities wrong. And LEGO is like, you know what? These guys, they don't understand what they blew, so we're just going to come in, and we've been wanting to change the LEGO Batman format since who knows how long, and we're going to do it. And they used Arkham as their blueprint. Is it exactly like Arkham? No. But it has Arkham elements in it. Tomorrow's video at noon, I'm going to do a breakdown showing you guys the difference between Arkham combat and the combat in the LEGO game, as well as showing you, like, some of the cool stealth things that they do, and how you as an Arkham player will see that you need to play this new Batman game because it caters to your interests as an Arkham fan. Like, they did the best they could to give you not only a great LEGO experience, but also to give you a fun Arkham game that, you know, flips the script, so to speak. It's not as dark and, you know, whatever, as murderous like Kevin Batman, or brutal Batman. It harkens back to what made the Arkham games fun by giving you a good LEGO story that is going to focus on Batman's career for who knows how long. We don't know how long. But my video is really fun. Like, I go over stealth and takedowns and free flow combat, and there's even cape stun. Cape stun is a little bit different, but not a lot of YouTubers have told you this. There's a way for you to do beatdown rushes and all kinds of stuff. Like, the game really went out of its way to give you, as an Arkham fan, like, hey, why don't you come look at our product, guys? Rocksteady's not going to do anything until probably 2030 anyway, so why not give a different game a shot? You know? Whoops. My music's gone. No, we're not doing that. We're doing that. Da 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 da. Hooray! So, you know, that's where we are. Is Lego really cooked, and I'm really happy with them. I haven't been this fired up for a game since Arkham City and Arkham Knight. Like, when Arkham City and Arkham Knight were in development, I was on fire. I had content, I had speculation videos, I had lore, I had all kinds of stuff. I was firing on all cylinders again. I feel alive for the first time in 10 years. Like, that's the difference with me right now. And I've always had a passion for the LEGO games, but with the LEGO games, it's always been kind of like, it's a LEGO game. Everybody has that mentality, you know? You're going to go, you're going to collect studs, you're going to unlock characters, you're going to go for red bricks, you're going to go for gold bricks. It's the same old thing, right? But for the first time for me, in 6 years, as a LEGO Batman fan, it's like seeing all this stuff about the new LEGO game, it's like, huh, this is different. All the gameplay that I've seen, it doesn't feel like what I've played in, you know, the 15 or 20 different LEGO games that I've covered over the years. I don't know how many LEGO games I've done. I've done a lot. LEGO Ninjago, LEGO everything. Done a lot. So I really hope they do a LEGO City sequel too, because that was Traveler's Tales being like, hey, we don't have to worry about the confines of, you know, copyright. We don't have to do a licensed character. We can make our own character and, you know, run with it. And that's what made LEGO City so fun. So we still haven't had a new LEGO City game in all these years. So, but I still want them to do LEGO Superman next. Because if they don't do it, we'll never get LEGO Superman. We'll never get Superman, period. Because people just don't have the courage to try it. But if they can make LEGO Batman work in The Dark Knight, they can make a LEGO Superman game work. Especially if they use the same engine and they give us the ability to fly as Superman, give us all his powers, give us cool villains, give us a great storyline. You could even have Batman show up as a cameo. Like, do the world's... Like, here's how I would do it. I just thought about this. You have the, you introduce Superman to this world, to Batman, and you do the three-part episode in the Superman game that's based on World's Finest. People would lose their minds. So not only would, you know, Batman would make an appearance in the game, and Joker, but you would have this awesome team-up with LEGO Batman and LEGO Superman in the same game, based on a very beloved storyline from the animated series World's Finest. That would cement everything. Like, that would be sick. I would even volunteer my services for free to make, like, an adaptation of that story. Like, for LEGO. Like, with harking back to LEGO Batman 2. Like, that would be fun. We probably have more questions. I missed some stuff. I'm getting lost in my head here. Mage Wolf. I can't read. I heard you pick... They didn't pick the new Batman voice actor because of his range. They picked the new Batman voice actor for a couple reasons that people are forgetting. One, in 2024, there was a voice actor strike. Roger Craig Smith and Troy Baker were not available for additional projects. So they hired, just like, you know how Lego, either Lego Avengers 2 or one of the Lego games, where the characters had different voices and people were like, oh man, that feels off. Well, because of the voice actor strike, certain character actors were not available. Also, they were looking for somebody who could do an impersonation of Robert Pattinson's Batman, because that's who the Batman is of this universe. He is the current film Batman, so they want someone who sounds like him. So that's why we have Robert Pattinson sound-alike in the new Dark Knight Legacy game. The Dark Knight Legacy game will feature a lot of Batman's career. And we will see Robin age and graduate and become Nightwing. So it's not just a year one thing. That's not true. Robin was not Robin for 1 year and then became Nightwing. In the comics, he was Robin for about 10 years before he became Nightwing. In the New 52, he was Robin for 2 years before becoming Nightwing because he was Chris O'Donnell age. He wasn't a little kid when he was Robin. In the New 52, Dick Grayson lost his parents at the age of 15. By the age of 17, he became Nightwing. Which I don't like that. I am not a fan of adult Robin becoming Nightwing. I like the idea of Batman adopting a child and turning that child's darkness into light and giving, you know, the kid the life that Bruce Wayne couldn't have. Which is why Dick Grayson became such a beacon of hope in the dark DC universe, is because he was different than anybody else. You know? That's what I want. I don't want... I have a feeling they are going to do the Chris O'Donnell Nightwing, though. Or the Chris O'Donnell Robin. I would love it to be, you know, little kid Robin, and then he grows up over the course of the game. But I don't think that'll happen. They'll probably do the Batman Forever Robin. But I guess we'll find out. But I personally, that's what I like. I like Robin's Reckoning is a perfect example. The animated series episode Robin's Reckoning is the perfect Robin story. That would not only make for a great movie, but also it makes for a great version of Robin's character. We saw him get adopted at a young age, and then as a college kid who doesn't work with Batman very much, he's been trying his whole life to get Tony Zuko to get, you know, closure to what happened to the death of his parents. I forgot how to hurt her, actually. I don't remember how to hurt her. Oh no. Was it like a leaping kick and punch? Batarang and then leap and punch? No? Well, I hurt her before somehow. She just dodges everything. What about this? No, that doesn't do anything. Joker's in the background. I'm just trying to remember how to do this. I thought I threw the Batarang at her and then Robin would attack her or something, or we surround her or something. Fitting music. No, you gotta go after her. Somehow. Sound, maybe? Does sound hurt her? No, she's out of range of the sound waves. Okay, this is getting annoying. Oh, she backflips around and around till she gets dizzy. Okay. That makes sense. Thank you. I totally forgot. But yeah, I don't know. They've even said that Batman Legacy is a story about Batman through the years. It's not going to be like with the Arkham games. I get where people are coming from. The Arkham games are a standalone story that takes place over one night. Arkham City, Arkham Knight, Arkham Origins. Arkham Origins taking place on Christmas Eve until Christmas morning. Arkham Arkham Knight taking place over the course of one night, but the setup being like the story begins like over the course of a week or something like that. The only other Arkham game I could think of that actually takes place over the course of a couple days is Blackgate. But not really. So, I mean, it's new territory. Even the Lego Batman games take place, like, relatively within the same time frame. I think. Unless, I don't know, I think Lego Batman actually takes place over the course of, like, a couple days or a week. Because Batman has to go after each individual villain, and sometimes it's during the day, sometimes it's at night. So. Can you stop flipping, please? We gotta chase her again. Chase, 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 chase. Stop running away! Still running away. Still running, still running, still running, still running. Ugh. Are you gonna stop? Okay, this is not working out. Finally. Okay, on to the next one, which is the Batwing level. And then it's Scarecrow and Joker. Sorry, Harley. Did I miss any more super chats? Da 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 da. Kwing, why do you think WB hates wanting to make a Superman game of any kind? Because they don't see Superman as valuable as Batman. It's petty, but it's the reason. Every time they've made a Superman game, it's never been a colossal hit. And they don't like taking the risk. They would rather put their resources into something that's going to sell, like Batman or Harry Potter or Mortal Kombat or Injustice. If you think about it, Warner Brothers doesn't take as many risks as it did like during the 2000s. They only focus on what they know is going to make money. They haven't even really done anything with Lord of the Rings in like 6 or 7 years either. They've only been focusing on stuff that really makes them money. I want TT Games to do a Lego Teen Titans based on the comics in the 2003 show. That would be awesome. I'm down with that. Maybe Batarang flags above Silver Rockets. If you do that, I'll partake in the mailing campaign. I am going to do it, Blackwing. I think that's the best way to get it done. I love the Batwing. The Batwing is my favorite vehicle. It's one of my favorites. Chat, I want to say I'm happy to be a part of this awesome Bat fam. It is a great time being a Batman fan. Yes, it is. I would want Lego 2008 outfits as well. Sweet. Who you think will be the final boss? I vote for Joker or Bane. I think the final boss could be Bane. Maybe. But I don't know. The only story that we've gotten that is at the end of Batman's career in a movie is Nolan. I'm thinking that how the game is going to go, since it's a legacy thing, right? Over Batman's career. I think that the game starts out with Batman Begins. And then it goes to the Red Hood 1 gang. The Red Hood gang. From there, it would probably go into, like, a combination of the Dark Knight and the 89 Batman movie. From the 89 Batman movie, it would go to Batman Returns, meeting the Penguin and Catwoman. From Batman Returns would go to Batman Forever. And then Batman Forever after that would be like some type of comic book story for Poison Ivy mixed with Batman and Robin. After that, we would get some more like comic or maybe TV inspired stories. Then, also like at one point, maybe they're going to turn Batman Returns into a combination of the Batman and Batman Returns. Because the Batman is a year 2 story. Hang on, let me do that again. Batman Begins to start, the ninja training. Back to Gotham with Batman Begins and the whatever. The looking for the bears. I believe they combined the Bears from Batman Begins with the Red Hood Gang, and I've seen the entire Red Hood Gang story. So from the Red Hood Gang story, the next thing you could do would have to be Batman Returns mixed with the Batman. And then Batman Returns would lead into the Return of Joker, which would be a combination of Batman 89 and The Dark Knight. And then from there, I don't know, like a bunch of comic stories, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. And then at the very end, I would do The Dark Knight Rises, because Bane comes in, defeats Batman. You know, having him too early in Batman's career doesn't make any sense. But we'll see what happens. There's going to be comic book stories and TV stories that the characters are going to do, mixed in with the movie stuff. But I'm sure we're going to have, like, a lot of story campaign stuff. Because they're going to be doing all the movies anyway, so, like, having Scarecrow and Ra's al Ghul show up somewhere during the story, but they're also going to combine movies, too. Unless they're going to do the Batman movie as its own separate thing, but how do you do that when the introduction to Penguin and Catwoman was Batman Returns? Unless they completely ignore Batman Returns, I don't know. I don't think they're going to. I really think they might just combine elements of Batman Returns with the Batman. It would make the most sense, but... And then have the Joker appear after that. Unless they're going to go with... In order, sort of, have the Batman Begins origin happen and the Red Hood Gang, and then immediately after that is the introduction of the Joker. Which I would save the Joker till a little bit later in the story, but I don't know. Oh wow, this is actually good music for the Batwing level. It kind of is, actually. With the boom. And we have any more super chats? Did I miss anything? I have so many things to get through. I think I do need new glasses. There you go, ride the mini bat plane ride, yep. Jacob again, okay. I don't get why they are using Ace Chemical's origin, but the Heath Ledger Joker model. Should have made it Nicholson. Maybe they'll use both. Okay. I have gameplay to show you guys with my voiceover. I'll be releasing it Tuesday, because... Don't tell Amber, but I made another Arkham episode for the O1 channel. So I made last night I made an episode, finally. Which is why I slept so long, is because I was up late. Was working on your video for tomorrow, your combat video on Lego Batman Dark Knight Legacy, and I got around, after I finished that, I recorded the next episode of the story of Arkham Knight, because some of you guys don't know, especially if you're new, I was in the hospital for my heart in July. I pushed myself too hard, because there was a company that stole money from us that worked at YouTube, so I didn't get paid as a content creator for May and June, so we almost lost our home. We almost lost our health insurance. It was too much stress for me, and I ended up in the hospital, almost had a heart attack. So my doctor and my wife have been pushing for me not to work as much, so I was working 3 weeks ago on a 10-year later Arkham Knight playthrough using... I don't even remember the Batman suit I was wearing. I think it was the Batman Beyond suit. I don't remember. But I was doing a uploaded playthrough, and I had to stop it because I didn't... My wife has been forcing me to go to bed and take my medicine and stuff like at around like 1 or 2 in the morning when she goes to work at 4. So, she's been pushing for me to, you know, not work as much. And prior to that, I used to work all the time. I would make Batman lore, I would, you know, work really hard. And I was, you know, constantly uploading on my other channel again, my Arkham channel. And so I stopped doing that. I promised her, okay, you know, I was gonna scale back a little bit. So last night I had the ability to record like a 30 or 40 minute episode, and I did it. When I'll get around to editing it, I don't know, but I did record it. And I also recorded my 30-minute breakdown of the IGN gameplay. But in the this is what I'm confused about. I think that they're gonna do the 3 Joker story in Legacy, and I'll tell you why I think that. The character that you meet when he's unmasked is Jack Nicholson. So people are like, oh, why are they using the Heath Ledger Joker? I think they're going to use both, somehow. Because Jack Nicholson is doing all his one-liners. It's time to retire. Feel free to drop in. Nice outfit. He does all his stuff. He sounds like Jack Nicholson a little bit, right? And then he falls into the vat of chemicals at the end, just like Jack Nicholson's Joker. And when he comes out of the water, he's all white. But the Joker that you meet in the trailers is Heath Ledger's Joker with only the face makeup. So, is there going to be more than one Joker? Are they going to adapt the Three Joker storyline from Jeff Johns? Like, what are they doing? Because the Heath Ledger's Joker acts completely different than the Jack Nicholson Joker, or the Jack Nicholson Red Hood that we meet in the demo level. Yeah. So, I don't know what they're doing. I personally don't like the Three Jokers storyline. I don't like the idea that there were three Jokers. I like the idea that there was one Joker. So, I don't know what they're doing, but the mannerisms between Red Hood 1 and the Joker are completely different of the Joker that we see. So, I don't even know how his face wouldn't get messed up from the chemicals. So, you know, I really want to see Jack Nicholson's Joker, though. I like the Red Hood one from what I saw. Like, he's funny, he quotes Jack Nicholson, he quotes the entire thing. Every line that the Red Hood 1 says is Jack Nicholson lines. I didn't really hear any Dark Knight jokes from a Red Hood 1. So, I don't know. Unless they were just trying to throw people off in the trailer and his face is... Because you can make his face be all white and stuff as, like, Heath Ledger's Joker. You can still give us Ledger's Joker, but he can't have the face paint if he fell in... His entire body fell in the chemicals. You know? You can't only have his face show up with white makeup afterwards. It wouldn't make any sense. Especially when you show his arm being all white and stuff from the chemical bath. Like, you have to... You know, either you're doing the Three Joker storyline, or you're doing something else. I don't know. So that's what I'm curious about, is like, where are they going with this? Like, how are they going to implement this? So, you know, I'm a little excited by that. I'm like, you know, they did the Red Hood 1 thing. They combined it with Ace Chemicals of, Ace Chemicals from, the one thing. So where are they going to go from there? Like, after that, what are they going to do? That's the question. And it's a question I don't really know how to answer, to be honest. But it's exciting to think about. I always get messed up in this part. There's something I'm supposed to blow up. But I don't know what it is. Ow. It's not that thing, is it? Because I can't fly over that. I never liked the Batwing level. Batwing level is always so confusing. No, that's not it. Might need some help, guys, because I don't remember this. Unless I'm supposed to do something with Robin. Maybe Robin has to drag something? Yeah, Robin needs to drag something. Okay. And he blows up the object with a mine. I got it. It took me a while to remember. And I have talked with one other friend of mine, and he thinks they might be doing the Three Jokers too. Which was... It was an okay storyline, but I still think it's lazy. I hope they never do the Three Jokers in a movie. The only way the Three Jokers would work is in an animated movie. You know? It's just... It's weird. I don't really like it. But yeah, Jack Nicholson's Joker does show up as Red Hood 1. And it is Jack Nicholson's Joker because his hair is slicked back like Jack Nicholson. He's got the crazy eyebrows. He's got, like, the one-liners from Jack Nicholson's Joker, like during 89 Batman. He laughs like a crazy person like 89 Batman. He doesn't have the Heath Ledger laugh, which is more like hee, ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. You know, he's a very whimsical kind of psychopath laughter. And he laughs a lot. Heath Ledger's Joker didn't laugh that much. Like, Jack Nicholson had a lot of fun in his role as the Joker, and he acted like a psychopath. If you go back and you watch the movie, you can see he was just laughing and acting like a like a weirdo sometimes. You know? Because they're like, we need you to laugh, you're the Joker. He's like, you want me to laugh? So he did lots of bizarre things. And when I mean bizarre things, like he's literally taking pictures of Kim Basinger and he's making like people cutouts of the pictures, like a string line of people. He's weird, you know? But if they hadn't shown Heath Ledger's Joker with the face makeup and not his whole body covered in, you know, acid scarring, I would be like, okay, Heath Ledger's our Joker. But now, because they did that, I don't know what they're doing. I'm curious to see what they do. Because it's like, I'm here for it. I'm like, okay, what are you doing? You have my attention now. You've got Heath Ledger Joker in the trailer. And then you've got, you know, this. What's going on? How's this work? What are you doing? That's not how that's supposed to go. You know, these are questions that I was asking myself. I was like, wait a second. Wait a second. Hold up. Alright, I gotta be careful I don't miss any super chats. Flying around, flying around, flying around, flying around. Alright, I think we're good. I hope I didn't miss anybody else. I missed some people. Oh my gosh, I did miss some people. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, so Rocket. Curious if they will add moves and upgrades. I don't know. You mean like a skill tree for your combat? I don't think so, but I'm gonna be like, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure. I'll say that much. I'm not sure about that. Like, maybe, but I don't know. Wait, don't I just, like, hit him? Okay, so maybe we need to do something with Robin to fight Scarecrow? How do I hit Scarecrow again? Oops. I'm missing something. Scarecrow only gets hit by... No, that didn't do anything. Robin, are you supposed to do something here? Are you supposed to do something to Scarecrow? Let's see if I can remember. Drag a bomb in the Scarecrow? No. Wait, what? What does that mean? No, it highlighted with Robin. What? What? Wait. Why? I'm supposed to drag him? I don't understand. Where do I drag him to? Get hit by a missile? Alright, I need to look at the chat. I can't remember. Hold him with Robin and then switch to Batman? Okay, so I was making it harder than it is. Okay. Never would have thought of that. Alright, thank you. Boom. Did I get everybody's comments now? My phone can't keep up with all the comments. But I answered everybody who super chatted, right? Ooh. Pretty sure I did. Do you guys want the villains tomorrow? Like, would you show up for a villain stream? Alright, there we go. No, I don't want this music. No. Yeah, that works. Oh, Killer Moth was in this too? Yeah, he was. Which version of the Riddler will they have in this? I'm assuming he'll be a combination of, like, Jim Carrey Riddler and the Batman Riddler. The reason why I say that is because the Catwoman, or no, not Catwoman. Catwoman is Batman Returns Catwoman. She's just mixed. So it's still Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. It's Zoe, I think, unless it was the lighting. Danny DeVito and Colin Farrell merged together as a, you know, combined entity in the new game. I'm assuming Scarecrow will probably look like a variation of the comics and the Batman Begins story. Ra's al Ghul will probably look like a combination of Batman Begins and the comics or the games. Riddler will probably look like a version of either Jim Carrey, or maybe they hate the design of the Riddler and they want to do something different. I personally did not like Riddler's design in the Batman. He looked like a Reddit mod serial killer guy, you know? Wasn't on board with that, so I don't really like Riddler's design from the Batman. So I hope they go for a more traditional, like, I think the perfect Riddler for the new Dark Knight Legacy game, and my favorite Riddler look of all time, is the animated series. You have this more modern-looking Riddler that has the green domino mask. He has a Riddler tie on, and he has a suit that's green and black. Like, that is my favorite Riddler look. It's contemporary, it's business casual, it's villainous and dark without being too, like, campy. And it's something you can take that Riddler serious because, you know, he's dangerous. If it wasn't for Batman cheating in the Riddle of the Minotaur section of Batman the Animated Series, Batman wouldn't have made it in time, and Riddler would have killed that CEO, that rich guy. Batman apprehended the hand of fate using his bat computer, his palm computer, and he broke Riddler's rules. If he would have gone through the maze as is, he never would have made it in time. So the Riddler actually would have succeeded had Batman not cheated. And same thing with Arkham Riddler. Arkham Riddler is very dangerous. It's just Batman doesn't play Riddler's game the way that Riddler wants him to. So I would like to see a combination of Arkham and animated series Riddler as the basis for Riddler's costume in Dark Knight Legacy. Like, that's what I would like. And with Scarecrow, I'd love to see a variant of his animated series look, like more creepy-like, with his, you know, Batman Begins thing. Because I think his Batman Begins thing was very too simplified. It was just a guy in a, you know, Scarecrow mask, basically. He didn't really dress the part. He didn't even look like anything. I would have loved to see a more traditional, like, animated series Scarecrow. That's just me personally, because I love... My favorite look for Scarecrow is his second costume in the animated series. I don't like his New Adventures look, because he looks creepy. They make him look like a Western preacher that, like, hung himself or something. Not a fan of his. I love his second look because he looks more monstrous and stuff like that. It's creepy looking. You know? With the Scarecrow hair in the back, the straw hair, and the freaky mask. I love the red and brown look to his costume. It's very iconic for me. For Catwoman, we know that she's going to appear as Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, so I'm fine with that. Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman is the most iconic costume for Catwoman. You can't beat it, so that's fine. I would have loved if we got a combination of Heath Ledger's Joker and Jack Nicholson's Joker as, like, the final design. Like, you could have gone with Heath Ledger's long green hair and, like, Jack Nicholson's, like, face or something like that. Or, like, whatever, eyebrows or something to make, like, this, like, combined version of the two Jokers. Poison Ivy, I would like Poison Ivy to look like the animated series version of Poison Ivy, because that's her best design. Poison Ivy has never had a better design than her animated series design. I did not like her design in the Batman and Robin movie. They almost got her design right in the Batman and Robin movie, but they made it stupid. She has a green costume, but they paint on, like, on her gloves, they give her red nail polish, and they gave her really ridiculous, like, gravity-defying hair. If her hair would have been, like, in a bun or, like, down at her sides or shoulders or something like that, she would have had an authentic, like, Poison Ivy costume with the green corset, with the green pants and boots and stuff like that. Like, they were so close to nailing her look, and then they made it ridiculous. You know, the hair looked bad, the gloves looked bad. It was so close to being Poison Ivy accurate, and Schumacher just dropped the bomb. Like, he dropped it. It's like, no, and Bane himself looked really bad, too. So I hope that they give us a better version of Poison Ivy. I think her animated look is perfect. The green corset with the dark green, like, tights with the thigh-high boots, and the green opera gloves and stuff like that with the long, flowing red hair. You know, she looked very voluptuous, and, you know, she looked like somebody who could easily, like, seduce people and get them to do what she wants using her pheromones and stuff. Like, that would be the perfect Poison Ivy, because if it worked for the animated series, they could get it to work for that game. I think that'll work. I don't like her goofy look from Batman and Robin. Because she was both modest and she was, you know, sexy in the animated series, so I think that works. She had the whole femme fatale thing going. Harley Quinn, if Harley Quinn is in it, I want Harley Quinn to look like animated series Harley Quinn. You can't beat the classic Harley Quinn look. Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze, I would like his animated series look mixed with his Batman and Robin costume. I think that'd be kind of cool. I think they could pull it off. Probably. Let's see. What's left for us to do here? Okay, now I flip the switch. What did I do exactly? Oh, right, yeah. Gonna go up here. Now you're listening to the musical styles of Batman Returns on Sega Genesis. If you didn't know already. I can't think of what other villains I would like to have a... I already talked about Ra's al Ghul, Catwoman, Riddler, Joker, Penguin. We already know what Penguin's gonna look like. Condiment King, I want him to look the way he does in the animated series. You have to understand, the animated series is the definitive Batman. Like, they took all the great storytelling of, like, the past, like, at that point, 30 years of Batman, like, dark comics. And they gave people this, TV-friendly version of Batman that was both dark and interesting. Okay, Robin, you have to send Batman up there. Oops. Just stay on the platform, AI. There we go. Alright, now we're cooking. Oh, wait, now I gotta blow up stuff. What's this? Boom. The Killer Moth boss fight isn't too bad. Just blow up the silver bricks. And then after that is Joker and... just Joker. Joker and Harley somehow. In the clock tower, isn't it? I believe so. Alright, so let's see our poll. 81 people voted for Do the Bad Guys story starting tomorrow. Okay. I think I can do that in the evening. I'm bringing Kirby back tomorrow. And then I think I have an ultimate tomorrow, so probably do the villains. We'll just put Joker on the thumbnail. Put Joker on the thumbnail next to Batman. Showcase that we're doing the villains. I can do that. I can Photoshop that pretty easily. Make sure everyone has their likes. Oh yeah. I totally forgot. Clock King was a joke too. Clock King in what? I didn't like Clock King in the Batman Brave and the Bold. Clock King in the animated series is a great villain. The only problem is they ruined him with his second appearance. The first appearance of Clock King is a great episode of Batman the Animated Series. It was written by a very talented writer who did a lot of, like, G.I. Joe, He-Man, Pirates of Dark Water. He wrote a lot of stuff. Very, very talented writer. He only did one episode of Clock King for the Batman the Animated Series. He also wrote some other episodes of Batman the Animated Series. But the Clock King's second appearance with Robin is stupid. Where he plays Harold the Butler. I didn't like that. It felt out of character for him because it wasn't the same writer. Temple Fugit, the Clock King. River, do you think we will be able to go inside Wayne Manor? I don't know, River. They've only shown Wayne Tower in the background so far. We don't know where the Batcave is. The Batcave is either under Wayne Manor, or they're going to show us a Batcave that is under Wayne Tower. You have to remember, there's numerous Batcaves in Gotham. There's the Batcave that resides underneath Wayne Tower that's much smaller than the Batcave that's under stately Wayne Manor. And there's also Batcaves known as satellite Batcaves that are scattered throughout Gotham, Arkham, under the GCPD, by the docks, and some other places. And they're everything from... In the subway, there's a subway Batcave that is literally like the Ninja Turtles subway thing from TMNT 2, the movie. You know, it's a old subway car that he's turned into a Batcave. At the docks, he has a Batcave that's underneath the shipping crates, and it's a giant shipping crate that's his Batcave. So, I mean, it all depends, like, what Traveler's Tales means by Batcave. I think they're talking about the Batcave under Wayne Tower, which is the Batcave that Robert Pattinson's Batman showed. He had the Wayne Tower Batcave. It'd be great if they do the Wayne Manor Batcave, because it could be much bigger. Because we don't know what the size of the Batcave is going to be. So, I would love for them to do that, though. That'd be great. I'd love for them to be multiple Batcaves. What do you think of Batman's rainbow suit being the new Lego Batman game? I hate the rainbow suit. Rainbow suit is from that stupid 1950s comic where Batman has to wear different color suits because Robin broke his leg. And him wearing the different color suits is so, like, the bad guys are distracted or something so they don't attack Robin. When in reality, he should have just left Robin home from crime fighting because he broke his leg. He's taking this boy with a broken leg out on patrol, and to distract them from, you know, attacking the the wounded boy Wonder, he puts on a colorful costume and eventually combines all his costumes to be rainbow. And then later on, in another version of the Rainbow Batman, he wears the colorful rainbow suit so some enemy's weapon bounces off of him or something because he has so many colors on his suit. It's stupid. I don't like Zebra Batman. I don't like Rainbow Batman. It's just dumb. Not a fan. People think that it's going to be a Dark Knight in their beliefs they're going to have Two-Face from the best movie ever from Batman. I'm sure Two-Face is going to show up. It's a game that takes place over Batman's entire career. That's what they've said. With an interview with, I believe it was GameSpot, the project head says, we're going to be doing a game that shows Batman's beginning, middle, and maybe his end. So, you're going to see an episodic Batman story over the course of Bruce Wayne's career as Batman, which might lead into Batman Begins. We don't know. I mean, Batman Beyond. There's no way of knowing. It's too early. Some people say the game is coming out spring of 2026. Some people say the game won't come out until the summer of 2026. So we don't know when it's going to come out. We don't know how much trickle of information is going to release from the game either. Like, I know for a fact that Traveler's Tales, like Project Head, is going to be doing interviews with press that didn't attend Gamescom. So hopefully, you know, I can get an interview with the guy, but I don't think that'll happen. If I had 1 million subscribers, maybe, but I would love to talk to him for like 5-10 minutes. I would be down for an interview. I would do it. I'd ask him all kinds of stuff that I know he'd probably say no comment to, but I'm curious. I just want to shed some light to certain things that even I'm questioning, just so I get a rough idea of, okay, here's where they're going, so I can figure out the whole plot of the game. If I have a little bit more details about the story, then I can tell you where it's going to go. I'm pretty good at that. I've always done it with Arkham. I've always done it with the Lego Batman games. It does ruin the surprise for me, but I like the stuff leading up to the game release is the most fun for me, as opposed to when the game comes out. I like to figure things out before it happens. It just happens that way. I'm different than most people. I don't mind spoilers. I don't mind whatever. I like figuring things out. Putting things together and figuring it out. I've always been like that, though. But it does make it hard for me to watch movies, because I can figure out the plot of the entire movie after 20 minutes of watching the movie. So I don't watch very many Western movies. I prefer watching, like, Asian entertainment, because it's hard for me to deduce, like, what's going to happen with the story. Because they always throw you a curveball. A character you might really like might get hit by a car and die and end up in a coma. Whereas Western storytelling, you know who's going to survive and what's happening, you know. Where it's going, where the climax of the thing is going to happen, if it's a superhero movie or if it's a, you know, like murder mystery or something like that. With Japanese and Korean entertainment, they throw you curveballs all the time. Characters randomly die and you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming. So, I wish they would do more of that for Western storytelling, but they don't. Very predictable. Even though Clock King is more of a traditional Green Arrow villain. I like what they did with Clock King in the animated series, though. It's his best reconfiguration. Can we play as Superman? No. Wait, is Clock King related to Temple Fugit? Their names are very similar. Do you think that we'll get a Beyond suit? I don't know. Robin should retire. Forcing Batman to go... I'm not... It's not... Oh, wait, just be quiet. That's not that. I already said it. It's a comic book from the 50s. That stuff didn't exist in the 50s. Batman can't wait Lego Batman here. Harley Quinn is no comment. Two-Face is no comment. Riddler is in it. Mad Hatter's no comment. Killer Croc is no comment. Does that mean the Justice League will be involved, or is it going to be... No. The Justice League will have Easter eggs to their existence. The Justice League does not show up in any capacity in the new game. It's Lego Batman 1. So ask yourself, did the Justice League or any other superheroes besides Batman characters show up in Lego Batman 1? The answer is no. Only Lego Batman, or only Batman Gotham characters will be in Lego Batman Dark Legacy. It's why Ben Affleck's Batman will not have a story level. Ben Affleck's Batman is a Batman that had Superman in his universe. The Justice League exists in this universe, but you're not going to see them until a sequel, probably. If you get a sequel. Your sequel might be a Superman sequel. Don't know. That's what I would do. I wouldn't even do a Lego Batman 2. I would go right to Superman and have Batman, like, make an appearance in Superman's game, doing World's Finest storyline. That's what I would do. Have the entire focus, just like the Batman game, the focus was Superman, but then either do DLC or do the final mission as World's Finest. Something Superman can't do on his own because he's not used to dealing with the Joker or something like that. That'd be interesting. But no, there will be no other non-Gotham characters in Lego Batman Dark Legacy. I'm doing something wrong. Can I hit those? No, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so we need to do something with Batman or Robin up here. I just can't see. Oh, I see it now. There we go. This is the final boss of Batman Returns on Sega Genesis. Shoot. Can you blow these up? Yes. There we go. Man, I am a genius for doing a custom soundtrack for replaying Lego Batman 1. It's so much more fun, and I don't have to worry about copyright. Plus, I get to listen to cool Batman music. Then I can't have those greedy people take my hard-earned ad revenue away from me. This stream's gotten almost 4,000 views. That's going to be a nice chunk of ad revenue. So it looks like you guys want more Lego Batman tomorrow, so we're playing as the bad guys starting tomorrow. Beat up bad guys, look at the stuff. Do you think that they'll include the Batsuit from the Lego Batman movie? I mean, you do know that the Lego Batman Batsuit is a Keaton suit, right? The Lego Batman movie that Will Arnett was Batman, he's wearing the Keaton suit. The Keaton suit is black with a yellow oval, and the utility belt that he wears in the Batman movie is Keaton's Batsuit. It's iconic. The Batsuit that I'm wearing right now, even though it's not Keaton, It is Keaton. If I could zoom in, I could show you the utility belt that he's wearing for his demolition suit is the utility belt from Keaton's bat suit. The suit is Keaton. In Lego Batman 2, you wear Keaton's bat suit in it. Like, that's the main suit. When they were working on this game, Batman was not going to have a comic book Lego Batman costume, like, based on Jim Lee's Batman run, because that's the regular bat suit that you wear in this game is based on Jim Lee's, like, Batman. Kind of, except Lego-wise. When the game was in early development, the bat suit that you played as was Keaton's black bat suit, which they ended up turning into the demolition suit. So the Will Arnett suit that you wear, or not you wear, the Will Arnett suit that you see in the movie and that you've played in, you know, whatever Lego games he's appeared in, it's the Keaton suit. So, to answer your question, yes, the Will Arnett suit will be in Lego Batman Dark Legacy because Keaton's 89 Batman suit was already shown in the trailer. So, little random trivia for you. Lego Batman movie was a separate thing. He's still wearing the Keaton suit, though. Lego Batman movie was good. It was good. Person. It's just a suit in the video game that can be selected for fun. You don't have to choose it if you don't want to choose it. Yeah, you don't... The Rainbow Batman suit is just a joke. It's the Silver Age. Don't overthink it. Lego Batman 2 was peak. Lego Batman 2 is still my favorite. Even though Lego Batman movie is a separate universe, they could still include the suit. I guess, but I mean, it's the same suit as Keaton. Justice League kind of ruins Batman. Polka Dot Batman be playable, I'm guessing. I don't know how many... Like, when I spoke to people, they said that there'll be some Silver Age Batman costumes. So I don't know what that means exactly. I don't know how many. They said all the movie suits will be in the game. So people saying that Ben Affleck wasn't going to be in the game, all the movie suits are going to be in it. There's 7 movie Batmen, so there'll be 7 movie suits. Which means Clooney, Affleck, all that stuff. There'll be suits for the cartoons, some of them. So you'll get animated series, you'll probably get the Batman 04, you got Brave and the Bold. You'll probably get Beware the Batman, and probably Justice League Action. I don't know. But you will get you're going to get comic book suits that will be based on the Silver Age and the Bronze Age and the Modern Age. So whatever those suits end up being, I don't know. I'm guessing Jim Lee, Frank Miller, Nightfall, Long Halloween, Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, maybe? I don't know. No way of knowing. We shall see. But I have been told there will be some Silver Age costumes. So, more than what you've seen. So, probably Zebra Man, Polka Dot Batman, Batman of Zurina, I don't know what else. Maybe Broken Leg Batman, where you had to pilot a helicopter. I don't know. No way of knowing. Alright, so we have to be... remote control Robin costume. Oh. There it is. Why are you not interacting with this? That's not good. He's supposed to interact with that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't tell me I have to do this level again. I hope not. That's bad. Where is his... Oof. Can you get off? Hi, Link. I think the prompt broke. I think the prompt broke. That's not good. Sometimes that can happen. It's annoying, but it can happen. No Lego game is... Whoops. Link, don't attack my microphone. No Lego game is without bugs. Especially on Steam. So what's supposed to happen is there's a prompt that goes above Robin's head where you can summon a remote control car. And it's not doing it. Link, what are you doing? You just want Jason Todd to show up? Probably DLC. As much as I want them to be Lego GL game or a Flash game, I would be down for Superman. Most people would be. Do you think they will have a tribute to Kevin Conroy? Yes, there is a tribute. The animated series Batmobile and the BTS Batmobile, or the, sorry, Batman the Animated Series Batmobile and Batman the Animated Series suit are in the game. So if you want to play as animated series Batman and drive around in his Batmobile, you'll be able to do that. So if that counts as a tribute, there's your tribute. If you're asking if there'll be any story levels based on animated series episodes, I don't know. I hope so, but I don't know. When was the first Batman comic? 1939. God bless, hope you're well. Thank you. Probably won't show up due to the gruesomeness of his story. No, Ben Affleck is in the game. His suit and Batmobile are both in the game. Ben Affleck had 6 bat suits over the course of his 3 movie appearances. So, you will... I think you'll have his base suit, but his Batmobile is in it. All the movie bat suits will be in the game. All the movie Batmobiles will be in the game. So you will have film representation of all the Batmen that have donned the suit in the movies. Great. This is bad, very bad. All these ladies walking around. So does anybody know if it officially jammed up? Because if I need to restart the level, I need to know now. Because Robin is supposed to do something, and I can't summon my electrical gadget. I don't remember what this dude does. Okay, there we go. I was supposed to summon the robot. We're fine. The robot breaks the door, and then we can exit. It took me a while to remember how to do this. It's been a while. Been a while. There we go. Now we can go fight Killer Moth. Yeah. Almost. Almost fight Killer Moth. Da, 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 da. Wow, it's Unhunter of a live stream actually contributing to the hourly views. That's new. Oh my goodness. So, tomorrow's streams, we'll kick off with Kirby. Then it'll be Lego Batman this, with playing as the villains. And then after that, I believe is an Ultimate Select on Lego DC Supervillains. I just have to clarify with, because my wife does not work on Monday. So I think we can do an Ultimate for Brianna tomorrow. But I have to double check. I has to double check. Dun 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 dun. I like how this is going to be Lego Batman game. The Lego Batman 2 was more of a Lego Batman and Superman game. Yeah, that's true. We need to play as Batgirl and Barbara Gordon. Batgirl is in the new game. She is Barbara Gordon. Any updates on the Batman and Robin movie suit? Also, I know you said the Batman Forever Sonar suit would be in it, but what about the original Val Kilmer Forever suit? I don't think you would need the Forever suit, because it's the 89 suit with a black utility belt. What would be the point? If resources are limited and I work at Traveler's Tales, I'm going to want to use the suit that makes Batman look different than Michael Keaton. Because the, Batman, the Val Kilmer suit, which is known as the Panther suit, by the way. The Panther suit has the yellow emblem on his chest, and it has the black utility belt. So they take the Keaton suit, and they just gave him a black utility belt. And then later on in the movie, he gets his own signature bat suit, which is known as the Sonar suit. For promotional material, the game at E3, sorry, at Gamescom, they had a statue of the Sonar suit. So, asking if you'll get another movie bat suit for Val Kilmer? No, you'll probably get the Sonar suit only. For George Clooney, you'll probably get the ice suit, and it'll probably happen over the course of the story. Like, Batman will don the ice suit with Robin and Batgirl to face Mr. Freeze. Like in a throwback to the, you know. So it'll be the all-silver ice-like suit from Batman and Robin without the nipples on the chest. Probably. Because that's kind of George Clooney's signature bat suit. Is the last one he wears at the end of the movie. Because basically he wears the same suit as Val Kilmer, except it's blue. It's like a bluish black. So you'll get Sonar. You'll probably get ice-resistant Batman, Robin, and Batgirl for when they fight Mr. Freeze in the story. That'd be my guess. Do you think there'll be DLC packs? Don't know. I hope we get varied cowls. You probably will. I can see it, especially since this is the bomber batsuit, and Keaton liked to make things explode. Yeah. It is the Keaton suit. Disco Floor, thank you. Return back to the club. I'm pretty sure we're going to get all the suits and Batmobiles that are available through media since 1966 Batman. Maybe not Beware the Batman, Telltale series, or Gotham Knights, though. If they're doing TV Batman, which they confirmed with Batman Brave and the Bold, you're probably going to get all the TV Batman, which consists of Adam West, animated series, The Batman, New Adventures of Batman, also known as the Batman Superman show, Justice League Batman with the really long ears, Beware, 2004 Batman, and probably Cape Crusader, but I don't know. A lot of people don't like the Cape Crusader. I don't like the Cape Crusader. It had like 3 or 4 episodes that were decent. The rest was trash. I actually had to stop reviewing that because I was getting harassed by woke people. Like, people were trying to do cancel culture on me again. I've survived cancel culture like 8 times. But I always, like, I don't come away unscathed from it. I survive, but it's not something I like going through. Okay, I fell down a hole and I can't get out. Okay, now what? Oh. You need to do this. Maybe the second season of Cape Crusader would be better. I don't know. But yes, you're getting all the movie Batman suits. You're getting TV Bat suits. You're getting suits based on the comics. I don't know how many comic suits you're getting. I just know you're getting all the movie suits and you're getting the TV show suits. I didn't really ask about comic book stuff because there's so many comic book bat suits. When they said originally that there would be 100 bat suits, I kind of stopped asking questions that would be not something that I wanted them to answer because, like, chances are if there's 100 bat suits, then fans will get their favorite bat suit to wear because there's been hundreds of bat suits in the comics and stuff like that, you know. But there's, like, core signature ones that people know, like Nightfall and Hush and Long Halloween and, you know, 1970s run, that kind of stuff. Frank Miller. There's signature comic book costumes that I'm sure will make it. Dun, 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 dun. But, like, once I heard that there was, like, a lot of bat suits, you have to remember that I stopped asking questions related to suits because I didn't see a point to it. I'd much rather ask about gameplay or other characters or things like that. Because I didn't want to waste my contact's time because, you know, they're texting from Germany. So I just wanted to be like, okay, there's this many suits, so I'm not going to bother with this question. Because chances are the suit will probably show up. I'd much rather know about this character or this character or this question. No comment, no comment, no comment. Maybe, no comment. Can't tell you. No comment. Wait and see. No comment. You know I can't tell you that. No comment. Superman, no. That kind of stuff. So. Dun, 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 dun. Can we just go through the door? Where do we go now? I forgot what's next. We drained the stuff. Robin did his thing. Batman's supposed to blow something up, isn't he? I thought Batman blows something up. Yeah, he has to... Oh, okay, there you are. Yeah, blow this up. Stand clear, Robin. I told you to stand clear. Adam West always told Burt Ward, stand clear! And sometimes Burt Ward would actually get hit by the Batarang. Because Adam was not very accurate. Poor Burt Ward. Burt Ward was like what became of the Power Ranger actors. Most of them ended up doing dangerous stunts on the show because they needed to look like they were really there. And Burt Ward had a stunt double. He was always having a coffee with Adam West. He hardly ever did anything. Because they wanted the show to look as authentic as possible. So poor Burt Ward was burned, electrocuted, blown up, punched, kicked. Because it needed to look real. He even had to be in the vehicle with the stunt double. Like when they drove in the Batmobile. They're like, why? Because, well, when we zoom away, the fans need to know it's you in the Batmobile. They're like, hang on tight. You'd be like, what? So Burt had it real bad, you know? Looking back, it made the show a little bit more interesting because you knew that Burt Ward really went through that stuff. Really got tied up, really got punched, really got blown up, set on fire, all kinds of stuff. Power Ranger actors, the first season, they really did get hurt. Broken legs, you know, explosions, actual choreographed fights, like with them unmorphed, all kinds of stuff. It made for a more authentic experience. But also, you know, people really got hurt. When do you think we'll get a follow-up to Arkham Shadow? No idea. I have no idea what the Arkham Shadow devs are working on. They won't tell me. And I've heard no rumors about any other Batman game in development other than whatever Rocksteady is working on, and I don't really care what Rocksteady's working on. Until I know for a fact that it's not going to be garbage, and they're not going to be pressing... Like, my fear is, because Rocksteady can't read the room, they're going to make a Batman game with the mindset of 2020, when the game industry has completely flipped back to how it used to be. You know? like, all that other stuff is dead. They're not going to be making games to appear, like, nice to one social group. Like, that's not what they're doing anymore. It didn't work. So, my fear is that they're going to go through and they're going to make their new Batman game that's going to cater to the woke mob, and that doesn't even exist anymore. Because they're kind of daft, and they've got weirdos that work for them. And I've gotten into some text arguments with people at Rocksteady because I don't like some of the people that are there. They don't have their head in the right place. There's some good people at Rocksteady still that I talk to, but, you know, they have a lot of, we'll say, problematic people that work for them right now. So I could see, especially if they get a terrible writer to work on the next Batman game, the guy that they got who worked on the new Batman game, like Arkham Shadow, was a really good writer. It was his first time, but he grew up with Batman the Animated Series like me, and he also, like, really loved the Arkham games, so he did his research, he did all this other stuff. The people currently at Rocksteady, they don't do research. They're just, you know, they're trying to cater an agenda. Which is sad, but, I mean, that's what they did. Are they capable of being better? Of course they are, but will they? I don't know. So I don't really give a flying Todd what they're working on, because I don't trust them. And most of their fans don't trust them. They showed us that, you know, they misused everybody's trust, and they also made fun of people that, in their game, like their narrative writer, and the people who did interviews, and all the stuff they said to places like The Gamer, and, like, all these really troublesome, irksome publications. You don't want to give a place like Kotaku and Gamer any leeway, because those people are toxic. You know? I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I can't see anything. I'm supposed to see something. We need to somehow light this thing up. But I can't see through the floor. So that's a problem. I don't know what Robin is doing. Try punching him again, but I don't think it's gonna work. No. Nope, that didn't do anything. I already pushed that into place. So, what now? The thing that people don't understand is that certain types of people are various stereotypes, and they also, like, follow and adhere to certain stereotypes. So they don't actually learn from their mistakes. They don't think they did anything wrong to begin with. There's still people that talk about what happened with Gotham Knights, or not Gotham Knights, with Suicide Squad, and Rocksteady doesn't even blame themselves for how bad the game did. They blame the fans and the fan outcry, and for people speaking out against the game. So, those aren't people that you want to be working on the next Batman game. You want people who work on the next Batman game to more or less, like, have an understanding of the character and an understanding of what the fans want, and knowing something that the fans are actually going to want to buy. Yeah, you're getting the 66 Batsuit. Don't jinx it. It might have glitched. No bat nipples. I don't know. Worst Batman show ever is what? Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, those movies suck. Batman Forever's not bad. Nobody likes being flamed online. They said all Batmobiles are in the game, all of them. I guess we'll see. Long as Batman Beyond is in the game, I'm happy. We don't know. Is there Arkham games as well? I don't know what you mean. I'd love the new Batsuit in Matt Reeves' upcoming film. We haven't seen the new Batsuit. Every movie has a new Batsuit. What are your top 3 Batsuits? Mine are Animated, 89, and Arkham. Probably be 89, animated, and Arkham City. I'm right there with you. Do you think we'll get to see Bane break the bat? Probably. New 52 Batsuit is peak. I love a new thing. Scanning, scanning, scanning. Stop trolling. I'm glad Matt Reeves' second Batman is canceled. No, it's not. It's not a fact. It's filming in January. Hi, Luke. Do you like stories like Dark Knight Returns, 86, Year 1, Killing Joke, The Cult, Death in the Family, or do you feel they're overrated? I like all those stories, Michael. They're good. I hated what Rocksteady did. Most people did. Rocksteady fell off, yes. Batman Forever was amazing. It was pretty good. Rocksteady knows what will flop, and they know if their next game flops that they'll be done. I don't think they care, though. That's the problem with activists, though, is activists don't care about what happens to them. They care about furthering a message and an agenda. They would rather burn the industry down than actually admit they did something wrong and course correct. They don't care about that stuff. That's why these people are a detriment to video games and like entertainment and art in general, is they're not trying to make art. They're trying to make something that is going to upset people. That's what they do. I think you either have to hold the interaction button or the attack button. What am I trying to activate, though? Because I think he's doing that all on his own. Yeah, I'm not... Okay, there you go. Thank you for the assistance. Like I said, it's been a while, so it takes me a bit. Lego Batman 1 was more complex than Lego Batman 2 or Lego Batman 3. And, you know, when it gets later at night, I don't really want to think outside the box. I just kind of want to get to the next level, get my thing done, you know? Okay, so I can't build while I'm getting attacked, huh? Out of my way, Mothman. So Robin has to stand there, and then he activates the switch. That makes a lot more sense. Da, 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 da. Because what people forget about Arkham Shadow is Arkham Shadow consisted of all kinds of walks of life that made the game. The difference is they had the correct priorities, which was making a good Batman story. They didn't worry about all the other hoo-ha, and they just went out of their way to make something good. That's it. No matter who you are capable of making something phenomenal. You just have to put in the effort to do it. What you look like and who you are underneath doesn't define if you are a talented writer or not. Your writing talent does. You know? Da, 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 da. Luke, do you consider The Killing Joke the end-all of all Joker stories? Or maybe you think it's a fine story that got way too overblown? There's lots of Joker stories I like. The Killing Joke is just like one potential origin for the Joker. It's not one of my favorite Joker stories. I like lots of Joker stories. One of my favorite episodes from the animated series is where Joker is, like, messing with this average guy and calls him to work for him just to open a door so he can kill him because the guy flipped him off in traffic. Like, that's the kind of person Joker is. He's crazy. He's a nutcase. Right? There's not supposed to be any rhyme or reason why Joker acts insane. He's just insane. I feel like it ruins the Joker if you, like, explain too much with his origin. And also, I don't like the fact that he defiled Batgirl, took pictures of her naked body, and you know, that was a bit too much. That was like, it was one thing to cripple her, but you didn't need to go and, like, completely, like, do that to her. Because you gave people some, like, R-rated ideas of what happened, you know? It just... It's messed up. One thing I love for the fact that we are getting the suits in the game and not DLC. Also, some suits like the first appearance suit won't have the arms stick out like the Arkham Knight. Love the content, by the way. Thank you. Yeah, the 1939 suit you can get as part of like joining up to Warner Brothers website or something like that. It's free. Yeah, we don't know if there's going to be DLC. I don't think so. But I don't know. Zaslav wants DLC. Yeah, they don't care about the audience, they just care about the message. Yeah, exactly. That's true. Cape Crusader is terrible is a terrible movie that embarrassed the source material. Well, the problem is you had too many cooks in the kitchen with the Cape Crusader. My problem with the Cape Crusader show is if they would have focused on a show that took place in the 1930s or 40s and had Batman, you know, in that universe, focusing on the problems of that era, it would have been a phenomenal Batman show. The problem with the Batman show is the Cape Crusader is why people don't like it is because they broke the immersion. You know, they added stuff in the show that didn't exist. And they completely shattered the immersion. There are some really great episodes that work for the time frame that the Cape Crusader is in. It has a handful of episodes that work. But you can't go and make a 1940s Batman show and then encompass like things that are going on in the 1920s or the 2020s and things that are happening on Twitter and, you know, on social media and stuff like that. That stuff didn't exist in the 40s. None of the things that they showed existed in the 1940s. You couldn't be a woman and on a date with a woman in public. You'd have people look at you. It wasn't normal. So if they were doing a period piece of a Batman show, they should have stuck to their element, which is here's what's going on in the 1940s, you know? But they wanted to basically rewrite history to make themselves feel better. And they missed the pot, so to speak, you know? You can't do that. If you're doing a period show, make it a period show. If you want to do a Batman show in the 1960s or something like that, during the hippie era or the 80s, go for it. You know, you can get away with showing certain things. But if you're doing something based on the time you're in, you need to make sure it reflects the times. Otherwise, it's not a show set during the 1940s. So that was my problem with it, is they added too many elements for current day in a show that's supposed to be grounded in the 1940s. So it jumps back and forth. This show takes place in the 1940s with 1940s, like, ideals and, you know, storytelling, and this show is set in the 1940s, but this episode now is set in the 90s. You know, it went all over the place. It's just a bad show. It kept jumping around all the time. It felt like there was too many different writers, like, trying to... I don't know what point they were trying to hammer. Whereas, last night, I was having problems. You know, I was up all night. I worked. I fell asleep listening to the animated series. I didn't even need to watch the animated series. I fell asleep to it, listening to it, because it was such a great story. I listened to, the episode with the Grey Ghost. I listened to the episode with the fake cult leader who is tricking rich people into giving him money, saying he's like this prophet. And the show sounds really good as an audio drama too. So I didn't even look at the TV. I closed my eyes and I listened to it the way it was a radio show, and it was amazing. You know, I fell asleep like listening to great storytelling. And it doesn't matter that I'm not a little kid anymore. You know, that stuff it's timeless. The Batman the Animated Series is just as good now as it was in the 90s. It's a timeless piece of art. The Cape Crusader show probably won't be watched after the 2020s because it's a dated show. It's a show that's not fun to watch. It's very... what's the word I'm looking for? It's purposely done to make people angry. And you can tell it. It's a show that's made out of spite. It's not a show by Batman fans trying to make cool Batman storytelling. You know? It's not what they're about. And it's a shame that there are people that misuse Batman content to do that kind of stuff because they miss the whole idea of what Batman is. There's no one more than me that wanted the Cape Crusader to be a good show. You know? Wanted it to be something that would resonate with all Batman fans that grew up with the animated series. I wanted that. I wanted to like it, and I still say there's some good episodes. But for the most part, the show is trash. And it's a shame that they did that. There's no reason that they needed to do that other than, you know, they were trapped in a mindset that was slowly fading out. You know? The era of cancer culture is over. Yeah, they call it what it is. Cancer culture. The era of cancel culture is over. Like, it's done. Getting people fired because they misgender you is over. It never happened ever again. You can't call the police on somebody for saying that they called you the wrong gender. You can't. All that stuff is gone. There's laws in place now. You can't do certain things. You have to choose who you are on your license. You're either a man or a woman. There is no in between. All that stuff is gone. You know, it might be something that's still in society in terms of whatever, but it won't be respected by law enforcement. You know, all that stuff is done. You can't tattletale on somebody you don't like anymore and call the police on them and not expect to get in trouble by the police for misusing 911. You know? That era is completely gone. And it's going to continue to fade as the time goes on, and people are going to have to go back to what it was in the 90s and the early 2000s in order to survive in life again, because otherwise, you're not going to get anything in life the way that you think you are. You can't swat somebody because you don't like them. You know, you're going to go to jail now. All this stuff. You can't do all these things that cancel culture was thriving for 7 years and get away with it anymore. You can't fire people because they don't like you. You have to have a reason to actually fire somebody. You can't just be like, oh, I don't like this person, I'm going to dox them, I'm going to get them fired. That doesn't work anymore. So, either these people are going to get with the times, or they're going to be stuck in their echo chamber. I think some of them will wake up and, you know, go back to common sense, but some of them are completely crazy and need to be locked up. They need to be in an insane asylum because they'll never contribute to society at all. They will never do anything worthwhile with their lives whatsoever. Because they believe they're so entitled and that everybody else is wrong. And you know what? That's on them. You can't do anything about that. Isn't there a way to lower the gun? I thought I could maneuver this gun, because I need to hit that switch over there on the side, I thought. I'm missing something. We bombed everything, we got the Robin suit. We need to do one more thing. Because these guys all have to go away. Unless there's one more Robin suit that I'm missing. Aren't I supposed to, like, spray that stuff somewhere so that those... Because the guards are going to keep coming in. Is it this? No, that didn't do anything. Ah! Okay, I was overthinking it, see? Okay. Wait, no, I don't know how to get over there, though. We push that so you can jump there. I think I'm supposed to spray that switch up there, aren't I? There's not many things I can interact with here that make those guys go away. Unless there's a gargoyle that falls on them or something. Yeah, I don't know. Hang on, let me look at the chat. Did I miss any more super chats? Wow, this has been a long stream, hasn't it? You think Keaton will ever come back? No, Keaton's angry. What's your option on not having full character roster outside of the new Batman game, story mode? I don't really care about that. Can you help me? I need some closure. Why can't Joker be funny, wacky, homicidal clown anymore? Where I saw Joker 2019, I nearly threw out. Joker 2019. I didn't like the Joker R-rated movie. They could have made it an alternate 1940s. Yeah. While I like Gotham Knights 7.5, I think Court of Owls was severely underused. I would love to see the Dark Knight Legacy do them justice. You mean the Court of Owls in the new LEGO game? Yeah, I'd be down for that. I don't see that, as long as they write them in well. BTS didn't push agendas, of course. Without Paul Dini, Bruce Timm is nothing. Yes. He's already shown that. Bruce Timm is a wacko without... but Bruce Timm, you have to remember, people tried to cancel Bruce Timm, so he went crazy. He tried to make the Cape Crusader to cater to people that tried to cancel him. Because he draws sexy female characters on his website, so he had cancel culture after him in 2019. So the Cape Crusader was his way of penance. Unskippable theme song. Send the people that made the Suicide Squad kill the Justice League to Arkham. Just get them out of the game industry. Use Robin to walk on the wall. Robin? You have to use the magnet suit and walk up the wall near the statue. Okay. Use Robin to walk up the wall near the statue. Okay. What wall? There's a wall for Robin to walk up? I don't see one. And then I'm supposed to do something with the... Where's this wall? I see a ladder. Oh. Oh, okay, I see it now. Alright, thank you. I see what you're saying. I got it. It doesn't look like the regular magnetic thing for him to jump on, so that's what got me all kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Now we use the spray gun. And the spray gun is to use on Harley. I think. Yeah. Spray gun Harley. And then she blows it up. We go to the next one. Alright, I'm back in it now. Now I know what I'm doing. I have both cats on me. Huh. And she blows that up, and then I have to build something new and fresh. Stop shooting me so I can build. Jeez. I like how in later games, like, you don't get hurt for building. Oh, it's not done yet. You can actually get shot and interrupt the building process. Alright, we got her. You're all washed up, Harley. Harley runs away. Hooray! I'm out of here. Okay. Now the clowns are all gone. I love the homage to Batman 89 in this. The fact that the final battle takes place inside the cathedral from the 89 Batman movie. I hope the Gotham Cathedral is in the new game. Keep saying movie. Jeez. I really hope they use the Gotham Cathedral. Do I need another bat suit to get in there? Thought I'd just go right in. I think I just go through the doors, don't I? No, the doors are still locked. Okay, there it goes. Alright, never mind. That was weird. It wouldn't let me through the door. Weird. I don't know what I'd be doing mystery stream. I'd probably do an alternate match. What time is it? 11 o'clock? You gonna see the Batman Returns when they re-release it in theaters? When are they re-releasing it? Do you think anyone new can do Harley Quinn justice, or do you think her character is spent? What do you mean? What do you mean by do Harley Quinn justice? You mean in the comics where she, like, farts now or something? Her character's not spent. They completely changed her character to something that she's not. She's supposed to be a bubbly, blonde, intelligent, fun, whimsical character, and they turned her into a, what? They made her a gay feminist or something now? So she's nothing, or bi or whatever? She's nothing to how Paul Dini envisioned her. She was supposed to be, you know, Joker's girlfriend that eventually goes independent, and she's whimsical and funny, and she's got a Jersey accent. She was never supposed to be what DC turned her into. Poison Ivy, maybe, but... Poison Ivy has always seduced men and used men to get what she wants, and she still does it. But, like, no, based on how Harley is now, they need to find a way of putting her back to how she used to be, because she doesn't really appeal to as many people as she used to. She only appeals to one group, and she's a one-trick pony. Same thing with Batwoman. Batwoman is the same character Batwoman's been since they brought her into the DC universe. And now Tim Drake is exactly like all the other people that they've, you know, changed. Tim Drake probably won't even be used that much anymore because people don't like him anymore. He used to be the best Robin ever, but now they're fleshing out Damian and they're not using Tim as much. Because Tim is now a stereotype. It's a shame. Tim was the geeky guy that, you know, used his brains and didn't have a lot of martial arts abilities, but always found a way to succeed based on him just being a smart kid who did computers. You know? And they ruined that. Now he's just a gay stereotype. It sucks, but, I mean, at least Nightwing is still cool. But as a lifelong Tim Drake fan, you know, what they did to Tim was devastating for me. I related to Tim Drake a lot as a kid, you know? So it was a bummer that they did that, but the problem is when you change a character, they never get changed back. If comic books would have this idea where a writer can come in and change a character and do whatever they want, it shouldn't be a permanent change. Like, I would love to work for DC, but I have a great story that I would write for Stephanie and Tim as a couple, you know? I don't want to have him with Bernard or some guy. No way. I'd make Tim straight again in a heartbeat, you know? Because I have great stories for Tim and Steph that DC has never really incorporated. They were a couple that people wanted to see them get married and have kids. Like, they were the most, like, grounded DC couple, and they broke them up with a text. So, you know? But Tim is a joke now. Like, I'm surprised that more people are actually liking Damian, because Damian's always a brat to me, but he's becoming more like how Tim Drake is. Basically, Damian's whole stick was being the bratty bat kid, and now he's becoming more grounded Robin, like Jason Todd or like a Tim combination. But the problem is Damian's attitude and Damian's personality is slowly disappearing as he's getting older. You know, before you had the smart Robin, which was Tim, you had the angry Robin, which was Red Hood, you had the sensible, fun, whimsical Robin, which was Dick Grayson, and then you had the angsty Robin, which was Damian. And because, you know, Tim is so unrelatable now, Damian is his character is being ruined slowly by becoming a fusion of all the Robins. And Damian was supposed to be something different. So, I mean, that's the problem with when they ruined Tim, is they also, in a sense, messed up Damian, too. Because now you have to make Damian something he's not, which is not a nice person. And you could say, well, it's character growth since he was a little kid, but Damian always has an edge to him. You know, he was raised by the Assassins. That's never going to really go away, per se. So, you know, if they wanted to make a Robin that liked men, they should have made a new Robin, and that was his whole thing. Instead of changing established Robins, but whatever. It didn't work out well for DC, so I take, you know, I kind of laugh at them for that. They got Robin's new book canceled after like 3 issues. Made a mockery of the character, you know, they got what they deserved. But it still hurts me as a Tim Drake fan, I always remember that. Tim Drake was my favorite Robin. I liked Dick Grayson, but Dick Grayson wasn't my favorite. I like Dick Grayson as Nightwing, I like Jason as Red Hood. I like Tim as Robin, or did. I don't anymore. Hate him. And it's hard to say that. So for me, that's why I'm glad that there's multiverses and stuff like that. Multiverse. Because for me, there's a part of Tim Drake that will always be untouched by psychopaths. And that's 80s and 90s and, you know, 2000s Tim. Like, pre-52 Tim will always be safe. You know? But the other Tim, yeah, he's just pretender Tim to me. I don't acknowledge him. He's just a whiny kid. Nothing. He's a stereotype now, and it's sad, but that's what happens. I think I need to blow something up, or somehow push this into place. Why aren't you letting me push this? No, push. Unless I don't need to push it. No, it needs to be pushed into... Oh, never mind. You don't need to push it into place. I thought you needed to. And the thing is, they actually have characters in DC Universe that are supposed to be like the equivalent to what they want to make Batman and Robin. They're called Midnighter and Apollo. And if, you know, they don't have to change Superman and Batman to cater to like a small group of people. You already have Midnighter. Just use Midnighter more. Make Midnighter movies. Make TV show. You already have characters that you changed, or you literally created them to be a specific category, and you don't utilize them because they don't make as much money as characters you want to change. That's lazy. Now, I don't even like Midnighter, but I know that there are people that like Midnighter, you know? But I personally don't read any of his stuff because I don't like that stuff. I like straight characters, so I don't go out of my way to support other stuff. It's not for me. But I'm glad they exist, you know? But I don't like how they keep trying to change the Batman characters to appeal to, like, one group of people. I think that's stupid. Unnecessary. In the long run, all you do is you mess up, you know, Batman's reputation, and you just create a whole can of worms that you're not even thinking about. Things that people in the 1950s were worried about, saying things about Batman and Robin, which is why in comics they had to show Batman adopt Robin. Because you couldn't have a little kid living with an adult male. That was weird. So they had to actually adopt Robin and make Robin Batman's son instead of his sidekick. When Robin was invented, he was never supposed to be the son of Batman. He was supposed to be the sidekick or the partner or the friend of Batman. Because society got so warped, they had to... All the Robins had to be adopted by Bruce Wayne to make them his sons. So people would stop getting weird ideas about Batman and Robin. Okay, you can go punch him now. And then once he's electrocuted like that... See, this was a great rendition of the '89 Batman story right here. Having the final confrontation between Batman and Robin and Joker be inside the Gotham Cathedral. It's a nice little throwback. Sure, Traveler's Tales changed how the level worked, but it's still an homage to Keaton. When I used to play this game a lot, I used to make a custom Batsuit that was based on Keaton's Batsuit and run around in it. Tim Drake's family was wealthy? Yeah. No, but I don't watch stuff with that in it. I'm straight. I don't watch stuff. I will... If you're into that, you be into that, but I don't like watching that stuff. I don't go out of my way to watch it. It's okay that stuff exists, but I don't have to watch or support it. I'm not gay. The pre-52 is canon to you, but the new one, I say, is Earth 900 non-canon. Earth 900? That's interesting. Hello, Ivan. Grayson and Tim are the best Robins. They were. Jason is best as Red Hood. I actually like Tim as Red. You like Tim as Red Robin? Yeah. Batman commands all bats. Well, I mean, I think they took that from, like, the 2005 The Batman. Alright, so we're gonna have to mute this real quick because there is a scene where the '89 Batman music is gonna play. Even though we have no music set up, they decide to actually add music for this sequence here. Did you see the 89 Batman suit in the picture right there? That's old. If you go back and rewind the video, you can see 89 Batman standing next to Robin. That's what his suit was for this movie. This game. See, I did it again. You can see it in the concept art, too. Near, like, 6 months before this game came out, they changed the suit to be the comic book Batman instead of 89. Yeah, they're still playing the 89 song. Did you hear it? Da, 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 da. Throwback to the Adam West thing here. Adam West throwback. Ooh. They love playing that theme, don't they? Even when you shut off the music, they say, yeah, we're still going to use the 89 theme. So there you go, guys. Tomorrow will be the villains. This has been a fun, very fun stream. I had fun. I hope you guys had fun. I'm going to be doing a mystery stream next. I don't know what it is. Probably play a fighting game. I don't know. I hope the 2004 Batmobile is in Legacy. It might be. I think they should still keep the designs for 89 and put in the demolition suit. Jim Lee references standing on the cliff there. Yep. That was much darker implication than I expected a Lego game to be with that last Joker shot. Yeah. Am I a fan of Peacemaker? I don't like R-rated stuff. Love the Scarecrow look. Post-Crisis Tim in Red Robin costume is awesome. Yeah. Defeated the Clown. Yep. Based Luke, lol. I mean, honestly, do you... Let me ask you. Do you go out of your way as a straight person and watch stuff that doesn't have straight characters in it? Like, and do you enjoy watching that? Like, I don't. I know that entertainment exists, but it doesn't exist for me. You know what I mean? So, I don't see how that would make me a bad person. I like what I like. But I don't, you know, I don't like specialty stuff. I have 2 cats on me. That's where a lot of this comes down to, is most of these people, they just don't like that stuff. It doesn't have to do with them not liking those people. It's like they're not that way. So they don't watch that stuff. They don't read those things. You know? Exactly. But it's existed for a long time. I'm fine with it existing, but I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it. It doesn't interest me. Oh, great. I had a light go out. I'm going to have to buy floodlights now. Alright, so you guys voted for more Batman. I have way too many people to thank for the Super Chats. I can't do that. You guys are amazing. You guys contributed over $100 in Super Chats and questions. If you guys have a question you would like answered, leave it on this video, because there'll be a Q&A video about the new LEGO Batman game on this Thursday. This Thursday, there will be an upload for LEGO Batman. There's an upload tomorrow at noon, going over the combat and comparing it to Arkham. We do a deep dive of the combat. It's a 15-minute video featuring both Arkham gameplay and LEGO Batman gameplay, brand new from the game. So we'll show you stealth, we'll show you all kinds of stuff, and we're going to do a breakdown of the combat. I talk a little bit about free roaming, but not a lot, because I can't really have a lot of footage of free roam. Poor Alfred. We're blocking Alfred here, Robin. I'm probably going to play a fighting game next. I don't know. Haven't decided. But you guys are amazing. Head on over to the mystery stream. God bless. Happy gaming. Have a great night. And I don't know what I'm playing next. I'll figure it out. Bye-bye.